we got to talk about the death of Vince McMahon today.
Why isn't this in all the newspapers and on CNN, Fox News? It's only on the WWE website.
Well, they got
apparently. There's a limit. If you're just tuning in listening,
they got the scoop. That's all.
There was a tragic limo explosion at one of the events. What event was it?
Who cares?
Who cares? And a tragic limo explosion, and Vince McMahon is presumed dead in the explosion. But not a word about it in any of the papers or the news organizations, just on the WWE website.
Can I make the observation of the day?
Yes?
Vince McMahon is a cheap F. He goes all out to have this limo blow up.
Yeah.
So everyone is going to presume he's dead, and that'll be the next storyline with the WWE. And who knows how he comes back.
Boo!
The guy couldn't even,
He's a ghost, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. He can't even break character for the ghost line. Boo!
The guy blows up a very old limo.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
I think I went to my prom in that limo.
Right, it's like, come on, man. If you want us to believe that this could possibly be true, why don't you blow up a limo from this decade?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that limo at one point had Nazi flags flying from the fenders while it drove Hitler around.
You make enough money, why don't you commit to the storyline there?
Yeah.
All right, it's Opie and Anthony on this.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And then she blows up like Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that Vince McMahon video is ridiculous.
We were analyzing it the whole commercial break. We are idiots. We're idiots. We're doing exactly what they want us to do. We're analyzing the stupid Vince McMahon blowing up in the limousine video.
Yeah.
And Opie's come to the conclusion that it's a fake leg.
Well, that is sticking out. They didn't really blow up Vince McMahon.
Well, if you ask Sam's convinced. Every time he watches it, Sam goes, "Oh, this is so tragic. Oh, this is terrible." Like, Sam is completely convinced Vince is dead.
And now we're trying to figure out who would blow up Vince McMahon. I'm thinking Ivan Putski.
Ivan Putski?
I'm thinking the Polish Hammer.
That's a long-standing grudge, then.
I think there's a grudge that goes way back to the J. Strongbow era.
That is going back.
It was Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund?
Bruno Sammartino.
Look at that car explode.
Never got the respect he deserves and decided to blow up Vince McMahon.
So now is it going to be a who shot JR, who killed Mr. Burns kind of a storyline on WWE? Is that what we're led to believe? And Iraq, what did you do? Did you email somebody? What was the email?
I emailed the WWE to see if Vince could call in to talk about his death.
Vince McMahon's not going to call in to talk about his death if he's dead.
I think that was the joke.
Maybe you could have just laid under the car and caught some rays.
Yeah, you could have gotten a hell of a tan under that car.
Yeah, no kidding.
God, I hope he gets I hope he falls asleep and the machine kicks on high and he's a scalded lobster-faced idiot. We can slap him.
Hey, call our old friend Taz. Yeah, because Taz going to be. I think he's going to be on that stage at Jones Beach this Saturday.
Taz could be a suspect.
Yeah, let's call up Taz and see if he knows what's going on with Vince McMahon's death. God, it's got us talking about wrestling for the first time in 3 years, so they did something right last night.
Well, now it's making... what newspaper is this from?
Yeah, what
responsible publication, periodical is this from?
Yeah, WWE.com got the scoop, but now it's spreading. What is this?
It's Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is where most of the big news breaks.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it say AP? Ooh, it doesn't say AP.
I don't see any AP. I don't see any Reuters.
What do we got, Travis?
That's from WWE.com.
Oh. Well, if Vince McMahon is dead, you would think the AP or Reuters would pick up on this.
Wow. Let me just give the headline here. A night originally designated Mr. McMahon Appreciation Night turned deadly when the WWE chairman's limousine burst into a fiery explosion just moments after Mr. McMahon stepped into it. Permanently uprooting the world of sports entertainment, the chairman has been presumed dead in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Why do they say Vince at all in this? It's all Mr. McMahon.
Mr. McMahon, it's respect. Local authorities stated it was still too early to declare anything as fact, including exactly what caused the explosion, but described the blast as an apparent car bombing. They also revealed that as of 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no body has been recovered from the incinerated wreckage. Interesting. No body recovered. Sam, I know you're really busted up about this. I hope he can even talk on mic.
Sam, I don't know, man.
Sam,
right?
how are you holding up?
Not well.
Not well. Every time he watches the explosion, it just takes another piece of him. The kids all busted up about this.
It was supposed to be Mr. McMahon Appreciation Night.
Yeah.
People were disrespecting him all night.
Right.
We don't know who it could have been. It was obviously some kind of bomb.
Obviously a bomb. So you're saying, yeah, it was a bomb. That's what the authorities.
Cameraman knows what's going on because they got a wide shot.
They were focused on the car, on the limo, and then they pulled back for a wide shot for no reason whatsoever.
Well, because the cameraman knew what was going on and didn't tell Mr. McMahon for whatever reason.
So you would say question the cameraman immediately.
First thing.
And who are you suspecting? Hacksaw?
Could be Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was there, but I saw him there.
And what about the Polish Hammer? What do you think?
Ivan Putski?
Yeah.
He's a prime suspect of mine right now.
I think so, too. Yeah. Jimmy, who do you think?
I think it was a suicide.
It can't be a suicide.
Well, he was very broken up about losing the ECW world title, so it could have been a suicide. You're right, Jim.
This incident is the first of its kind since the assassination of political figure Orlando Letelier.
What?
In Washington, D.C. in 1976. Sources say that given the nature of the apparent car bombing, under law, federal authorities will be called in for more thorough investigation that would supersede local Pennsylvania authorities. Check back with WWE.com as we continue to follow developments in the most shocking incident in sports entertainment history.
Easily.
Wow. Vince McMahon dead?
I guess Vince McMahon decided to give us the ending that The Sopranos couldn't give us.
Yeah, that was
Thank you, Vince. Jesus.
Vince decided.
Who saw this coming?
Oh, is that perfect?
What a hack. Hey, our friend Taz is on the phone. Hey, Taz.
What's up, guys?
All right, what the hell's going on?
How you holding up today, Taz?
Well, I just woke up thanks to the call.
You haven't been in mourning? How could you sleep when Vince McMahon is presumed dead in a horrific limo explosion?
Well, I was nervous about it last night. I couldn't sleep because I was worried about who the hell's going to pay me.
Goddamn Taz.
But then once I found out that, Shane O'Mac and Stephanie, I guess, could take care of the funds, I was all right. I went to sleep. I slept like a rock.
You slept like a baby. Who cares? Yeah. You have no interest or care in finding out who did this and bringing them to justice?
No, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, I was just like you guys. To tell you the God's honest truth, we had no idea, and that's the truth. We didn't know what was going to happen. It wasn't like, well, the old saying, well, it's in the script. No, it wasn't like that. This was something that came, honest to God, it came out of nowhere. We don't know, I mean, they wanted to get everyone's reaction as far as surprise. The funniest thing was sitting in the live house in the arena after it happened. I mean, while it happened, I looked at the monitor. All the announcers, we were like, whoa, that was pretty wild. And you look at the live crowd, and it was like silent. Everybody was like, whoa, how'd they do that? Like, what else?
How'd they do that?
How'd they do that?
They were like, it was like a little bit of a hush. I mean,
how did they do that? They hired Chris Angel to help them out. How did they do that?
Would you like to respond to that, Sam? How did they do that? I mean...
What do you mean, how did they get the bomb on the car?
Listen, we're in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, considered a source. So,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. If anyone could survive it, I'd say it'd be Vince.
I hope so. We love our we love our fans in Wilkes-Barre, but let's be honest. They picked the perfect place to try to pull this off.
Oh, jeez. I mean, are you saying that maybe they're not as sharp?
If they did it in Philly, someone would die for this. Like, oh, this, yeah, okay.
But honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I mean, at the end of the show, I'm like, all right, where's Vince? I didn't see him. I walked to my car, and I'm thinking my car was only about maybe 70 yards from that explosion. I'm like, Oh, jeez, man. Now my car's going to be on fire here. I'm going to my wife.
Taz is so self-centered.
Yeah, well.
Taz, did the fans wonder why Vince was getting into a limo that was last used at the Tangiers Hotel?
I mean, come on. You might be able to trick the fans in Wilkes-Barre, but you're not tricking Opie and Anthony. Yeah. That limo looked like it's from like 1985.
No, I know. Hey, I know you guys are sharp. I know that.
that limo
Actually,
stinks.
The fact of the matter is that was the only limo in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
There's only one limo.
Well, wow, somebody must have rigged it with explosives, but no body has been found. Now, that's a little odd, but that might give you a little hope there.
Well, wait, tell me what happened. Listen, it's smarten me up. So, what's on WWE.com? Because I didn't see any of that stuff. What did they say on there?
Well, they're saying that no body has been recovered from the incinerated wreckage, but they're assuming he's had to have been killed and probably just burnt to a crisp.
That's what it looked like. It was a huge explosion.
Yeah. Well, yes, Sam. We know. We saw it, Sam. We understand. Sam's pretty busted up.
The video's pretty hacky because you see Vince McMahon go in and his leg is still dangling. Then the leg goes in, and then the leg comes out, which would be obviously now the fake leg.
George's leg from Otto and George pokes out the bottom of the door.
Right.
You guys sound like you figured it out over here.
We could have, Taz. Maybe. We're skeptics. I might be going for the conspiracy theory here. There might be multiple assassins.
Yeah.
I just want to get paid. I mean, really, I don't want to be rude. I want to make sure I'm getting paid with my contract. I got to talk to my super agent.
Oh.
Then again, since the other thing went away, I don't even hear from him no more.
Think of the family, Taz. Think of the McMahon family and empire. There's going to be a power play now for the WWE with Vince gone. This throws a whole monkey wrench into the whole works.
I guess they're talking to the Brooklyn Brawler, seeing where he was last night.
The Brooklyn
it's funny
Brawler.
you mentioned him because he wasn't there last night.
All right.
Yeah, Anthony, you missed something, by the way.
What?
Taz, you got the same agent as us, right?
Yeah, I do.
And he hasn't talked to you since Free FM went back to rock?
Yeah, that's pretty true, yeah.
Come on. We share Taz's agent?
No, he's got Super Agent Bob Eaton.
Yeah.
I think he's dealing with the other guys who are probably still crying in San Francisco. So
you know what his closing move is? The sleeper voice. That's what Bob uses. He talks to you and lulls you to sleep with his boring conversation.
Tremendous.
Bob's got a tough gig. When it's going good, it's going great for him. And then, you get a lot of these guys out of work, and he just avoids phone calls.
Well, the guy just disappeared. I mean, just like gone. No email, no text message, gone. Take care.
Bob, give Taz a call.
Done. See you later. All right.
I would never want to be an agent.
No. All right, Taz, well, thank you for your insight on this. Apparently, the breaking news from Taz, he was sleeping, didn't know, doesn't care, wants to get paid. Right. That's the headline.
But, Taz, you're hanging with us at Jones Beach Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll hang out with you guys. I'll help you out.
I think you're doing some signings and stuff, right?
Whoa. I didn't hear that.
Oh. Hey, slow down.
Call me signings. What are you doing?
I heard you might be signing stuff in the One Village. I don't know.
We'll get a limo for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. A white one.
Yeah, a white one, exactly. They haven't used white limos since 1979.
I know.
Since Leonard Skinner put out their last LP.
Tom Hanks came out the sunroof of that one in big.
Right. Vince, man. We got to talk to Vince. Come on.
Yeah, we'll get Vince on the phone.
I mean, what a great storyline, but, make it believable. Get a nice black limo from the 2005.
Something newer, yeah.
It's old school.
It is
old school.
Maybe,
you
know what? Maybe, you guys remember, you don't remember this.
What?
Al, the guy, Tori Wilson's father who died on the show, Al Wilson. None of you guys remember that.
No.
So one of your guys over there might remember that. We had a storyline.
Here's Sam, I know exactly what Taz is saying. Oh. Sorry, Sam. And we're not the experts on wrestling.
No, I don't want to be either. It's my job. I got to be.
Well, Sam, what's the story?
Sam, do you know it?
I think Tori Wilson's father, Al,
ended up having an affair with one of the other divas. And I think had a heart attack on TV or something.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're good.
I almost remember that.
Yeah.
You really have no life. You're good.
No, I watch a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, so it's good now. Maybe they have I don't know, maybe there's a match in hell or heaven with Al Wilson and Vince. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe by the time I get to Jones Beach, we'll come to the bottom of this.
Yeah, you can give us a little more info.
I'm sure you'll get some answers tonight. You got to watch. I'll do a little plug action here on Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
Tonight.
All right, we'll watch tonight.
ECW tonight?
You got us interested again. Oh, so maybe ECW has something to do with this.
They could easily.
Could easily, Sam says. Could easily.
Man's a former ECW champion, and he's been distraught since losing the ECW title, guys. Let's wake up.
Gutshot Drew from Instant Feedback. I saw Coco Beware lurking in the shadows with his parrot.
Coco Beware.
Well, I'd like to say something. If there's no way you can see Coco in a shadow. Oh, no, you got to be kidding me.
Inappropriate bell.
Way to take the fun out of the room there, Taz.
That's why
Bob ain't calling you.
That's right. He doesn't have time for people like you.
Oh, look, we're on TV again.
Why are we on Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Fake phone call.
There's Opie taking his fake phone call. Who's that? I don't know. All right.
What they got you on TV for?
I don't know. we're suspects in the Vince McMahon murder.
Yeah, might as well blame us for that, too. All right, Taz, we'll see you Saturday, Jones Beach, all right?
All right, guys, thanks a lot.
Always a pleasure.
All right, Taz.
Take care, guys.
Well, Taz really does not care less. He could give a crap about Vince.
That's
he just wants to know where his paycheck is coming from.
Jimmy, to you. So I think I know what you're getting at here, but we have a horrible death that happened overnight.
It's called the worst death ever.
You're going to call it the worst death ever?
No one's ever suffered a worse death, and I mean, you want to go back to the time of 15th century Christianity when they were torturing people. This is the worst death.
The Spanish Inquisition deaths.
Jimmy, let's challenge our listeners.
Worst death ever.
You're saying this is the worst death ever.
Doesn't get any more awful than this.
All right, maybe the listeners could come up with a better worst death ever.
Okay. They think they can. But
by the way, keep it fun, you idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it fun.
Well, I'll tell you about my grandma. It was a long, drawn-out bout with cancer. And she... Yeah, okay, that sounds horrible, but could you keep it a little odd, like this story?
And they're about to read her last rites, and cicadas fell on her and crushed her.
See, we're going to try to keep it fun, like the story Jimmy's about to read.
Grandma actually was dying of brain cancer, and she finally got this moment of awareness, and she was ready to blurt out her last words, and all we heard was cicadas. The cicadas drown out Grandma's last words.
And she said, "The treasure is hidden."
And cicadas came in and...
Come here. The treasure, my fortune. It's hidden.
What, Grandma, what? I'm sorry, she's gone.
Son of a bitch and bugs!
Every 17 years you got to be reminded you're broke.
I'm picturing Grandma dying of cancer. She was a miserable woman, so her kids weren't around.
Yeah.
She spent her last days in her room dying of cancer, too weak to get out of bed. And she was able to get out of bed just to open up the window in Chicago to get a little fresh air. Maybe the last breath of fresh air.
Listen to the birds tweeting, maybe, and beautiful day, a sunrise.
Before she meets God.
Before the Grim Reaper comes in with his sickle.
That's the only way to say God now, you know. God. Before she meets God, she opens up the window and gets some fresh air. And all of a sudden the cicadas come flying in the window.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's too weak to get them off her body.
Fight them off as they eat her eyeballs.
They just start eating old Grandma.
There's nothing but bones.
Slowly but surely. Oh, and it takes a little time because, you know, Grandma's skin's a little rough. A little rawhide-ish at this point. Oh, but they nibble
a little gamey.
They nibble a little piece off.
But when you got millions of them, they could probably take apart a Grandma in no time.
Well, I'm hoping it took a while.
What do they eat? Leaves, right?
Skin.
Skin. Human skin. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
We find out something new every day about these cicadas. They're zombie cicadas.
Worst death ever.
Yes.
Jimmy?
A Long Island landscaper was crushed to death yesterday by a commercial lawnmower.
Well, that doesn't sound that bad or out of the ordinary. You've probably taken it off the truck with another landscaper. It could crush him.
I've seen a lot of those landscapers. Those commercial mowers weigh maybe 100 pounds.
That's it. I mean,
maybe.
And if it hits you right on the head, it's probably pretty instantaneous. So I don't see how that's the worst death. You're a liar, Jim.
Yeah, why is it worst death ever?
Well, this is how you know that your life is godless. He's crushed to death by a lawnmower that toppled on him as he fell into a cesspool.
Okay.
I don't mean to laugh.
Now
we're hurt on Long Island.
Now you're getting horrible.
He was in the back in Comac, and when his mower suddenly plunged into a grass-obscured cesspool filled with about 3 feet of sewage, he died.
Sewage is the polite way of saying.
Of course. Human waste. He died pinned to a wall of human waste by his own lawnmower.
By his own lawnmower that fell through a hole that, what was Bugs Bunny? Put the little blanket of grass over a hole? What the hell? Why was a cesspool just covered with a little grass?
I don't know.
You would think they would warn the landscaper.
Yeah.
You might want to stay away from that area over there.
Maybe stake it off.
Or was it a sinkhole that appeared?
No, they said it was a cesspool. He fell into a cesspool and was crushed. How awful is that?
Pinned down by your mower while you drown in human waste.
You know, your face and your teeth probably scraped the wall as you were falling in.
Oh, God. Oh, that's horrible. I gotta say, that is a horrible, horrible way to go.
It's never been a worse way to go than being crushed by a lawnmower. Because it's a nice day out yesterday.
Yeah.
Cutting the grass. Probably singing a tune.
Cutting the grass.
I don't know if that's worst death ever.
Worst death ever.
I'm going to challenge
that's pretty bad. What could be worse than being in human feces and being crushed at the same time?
Well, you have to tell other people in heaven. You have to see your relatives.
What about the guy... I'm going to have to get the story, but his arm got caught in like a chocolate-making machine.
That's fun.
Ooh.
And then his whole body was dragged into the machine, and he died in a vat of chocolate.
That's a yummy death.
That's yummy.
Well,
Death is yummy.
Kind of like the cesspool guy, color-wise.
Yeah. They both look the same, but I don't know. I don't know. I think chocolate doesn't make it as bad as human waste is what it is.
Well,
chocolate's fun.
We challenged Jimmy today. Worst death ever. Let's see what the listeners come up with, okay? Boston, you can't contribute to this because I think the show just started for you, so I'm sorry.
Oh, right, with the delay. Yeah. Although they do have a doozy.
Huh?
Although they do have a doozy.
What do you mean?
You're just driving to work and a giant steel plate falls on your car and crushes you.
Yeah, that's worst death ever.
That's a pretty bad one, but...
Quick. Huh?
That's quick.
We get the manhole covers here in New York that just pop up and crush it every once in a while. Or you walk your dog, you get electrocuted because he takes a leak on a pole that's not wired properly.
That's a bad one.
Or we had one, those grates. Someone's walking over a grate, fell 25 feet to their death.
Well, I don't walk on them.
Sometimes you're forced to, though.
My mother fell through one when she was very young.
No, she wasn't.
She told me how she did when she was a little girl. She fell through a wooden one.
No, she wasn't. Didn't.
You think?
Did she really? How far did she fall?
I don't know. She didn't die.
Well.
You think that led to her being a swinger?
No.
I don't know what she fell onto.
Con ed worker. Hey, toots.
I'm in Bermuda right now. My father's got a Polaroid out. With a digital camera. Trying to hook it up to the computer, but he said he's mass mailing up one of his email lists. All his digital photos.
Go to a swinger site and just see. Oh, imagine that. You're just trolling the web one night.
If you weren't listening to the show yesterday, Jimmy is suspecting that his parents might be swingers.
Just because they're vacationing with another couple in Bermuda.
Bermuda just sounds like it could be the swingers capital of the world for, like, old swingers.
Yeah. Yeah, where you go there and, like, you people that are into that lifestyle know where to go.
Ann had a great theory about some of these sexual practices, like the, how do you say it? The, leave the for the young.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Let's just put it this way. There's things you do sexually that make a lot more sense when you're younger.
Just meant for the young.
Right. There are things you do in bed that are meant for the young.
Meant for younger people.
Oh, like when you're kneeling and you look up and you see the other person's toes and you're like, oh.
Well, yeah, things like that. There's there's a certain things where perhaps you're looking at the girl, and she's looking at the headboard.
Let's just put it this way, because we're heard in Buffalo, close enough to Canada. You're both watching the hockey game. That old gag.
Yeah.
That old gag.
That one.
Some of these things are
just best left vague.
Some of these things you should just leave to the young.
Leave to the young. You don't want to see old Turkish taffy swinging. Looks like Turkish taffy and a couple of meatballs just swinging.
Let's say hi to Jeff in Rhode Island. He's going to challenge worst death ever, Jimmy.
Okay.
Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, guys, love you. I love the show, you know.
Thank you.
Vince McMahon's death was more tragic than that.
Well,
Jimmy,
you're right.
Vince McMahon was incinerated, it's looking like, in a limousine.
Yeah, his limo blew up.
Now, you might be saying, oh, my God, you're kidding. Why haven't I read this in the newspapers or seen it on Fox, Fox News Alerts, CNN? This should have been all over the place. But apparently, just the WWE website is reporting the untimely death of Vince McMahon. Still speculative, though, because they have not found a body.
And his family is going to make statements today.
Statements are being made today.
I'm sure those statements will be picked up by the AP.
Of course.
Sam is following this story very closely.
Sam is our correspondent, our WWE correspondent, Sam. But I'm thinking we might have to take him off of this because he's a little too emotionally involved.
He's our wrestling douche.
That's the title I would have taken.
Okay, take off wrestling. Now you're still pretty shaken up about this whole thing.
Yes, last night's ECW broadcast that Taz did play-by-play for was in memoriam.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
Was Taz a little broken up about the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting.
He probably had time to reflect after yesterday's show.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
All right,
Thank
maybe
you,
that's
Sam, because he was on our show yesterday, and he basically told everyone he doesn't give a crap as long as he continues to get paid by the McMahon family.
He just wants to get paid.
And he was worried that his car might blow up because it was about 70 feet away from his limo. I hope you heard that on our show yesterday. But yesterday he took a different tone, huh?
Yeah, I think he might have been.
He wasn't the sarcastic bastard that he was on our show yesterday.
Gave it some thought.
He was in a state of shock yesterday morning.
Oh, okay. Some people go into denial, is what it is. And that must have been what he was in when he was laughing about it and talking about how goofy it was and how old the limousine was that he got into and how the leg coming in and out of the limo looked like a fake leg. But there it is. I just watched the explosion again. My God, Sam's turning his head. He can't even look at it anymore. So what's the latest now on the investigation?
Well, can I ask Sam a question? Are you going to ignore the fact that we did our own investigating? We called Wilkes-Barre, the police department, and we found out that they actually filmed Vince McMahon's death a day before it actually happened.
We're not even kidding. We called the police department down there and wanted a statement from the police department. And the police department's statement was that was filmed on Sunday. And then apparently Monday is when they showed it. Now, Sam.
Now, Raw is broadcast live. I think the police department were probably not informing you of the correct information. Why? Be correct.
Well, that's probably why, as Sam was going to report, the FBI has now moved in.
Yes.
To take over the investigation.
They're not a good police department there, obviously.
Oh, okay. So now the FBI will probably...
The fact is, Taz had nothing to worry about as far as his car goes because the explosion happened the day before when there were no other cars in the area.
Sam. Why would there be when there's stunt people and pyro coordinators around a vehicle?
You do realize they flew stunt people into Wilkes-Barre.
I don't think that
Wilkes-Barre is not the movie capital of the world. They actually had to fly these people in.
Well, whoever flew them in, I think, is probably my prime suspect.
Oh, okay.
All
right. More suspects. Was there any clues last night as to who might have been responsible for this?
Well, I couldn't watch the whole broadcast last night.
Why?
It was on late at night, and I get sleepy.
This seemed... Sam...
Plus, it's too emotional right now.
Oh, okay. All right. I'd rather hear that than hear maybe you were a little too tired to watch since you're so emotionally...
So what's the latest on Vince McMahon's death?
In this?
Well, his body has not been recovered, but it could have easily been incinerated.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the inside of that limo could have reached temperatures of a crematorium, or probably an atomic explosion like Hiroshima?
Could have been.
There's not a fire hot enough to incinerate that ego of his, okay?
At least his ego.
They would have found his ego, at least.
His ego lives on.
Yeah. Right. Not a bone or anything?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
But the FBI is on the case.
All right, and what else?
Were the FBI agents that showed up, were they dressed in FBI attire, but really very muscular guys?
Well, you have to be very strong to be an FBI.
Oh, is that it? Were their muscles bulging through the uniforms as they walked out?
And the McMahon family will issue a statement on the WWE website.
Yeah.
Later.
Video statement or just a written statement? Because I would like to see their emotional makeup. I want to see who's upset about this.
When does the rest of the world pick up on this story?
Yeah, when does Fox News go all day with just coverage on this investigation?
I don't know. I think they're probably so busy with all the big news stories that are happening, they figure they'll let the McMahons have their time.
Oh, you're saying they're being sympathetic.
Yes.
Oh, okay. They're letting them mourn a little before they move in, like the vultures they are.
Yes.
And take. Wow, this is the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, Anna Nicole Smith was still warm, but Vince McMahon, they're going to let him rest in peace for a while.
Well, they haven't even found his body, and you know they're giving it some time before they.
Well, thank God the FBI has such crucial evidence as the videotape of the entire event.
Yes.
In HD.
Thank God.
Thank God.
All right, there's the update on Vince McMahon's death.
From, as O said, the wrestling douche
expert.
What do you wear when you go to bed? Do you wear little footy pajamas? I picture him in like a one-piece footy pajama thing that buttons up the side.
With the hatch in the back, so if he's got to make poopy.
Sam was getting the latest on Vince McMahon's death as he was eating chicken fingers and the rest of his 8-year-old diet.
His infant diet that he eats.
Yeah.
Where the hatch is used at other convenient times.
Somebody who may have had a little too much whiskey.
Watch, I guarantee this is going to be good. Guarantee this is going to be good, and I don't know the answer ahead of time.
Yeah.
What did you have for dinner last night?
Last night? Oh, I heated up a slice of pizza and had some Doritos with that.
I told you.
And a glass of milk.
He eats like an 8-year-old and a glass of milk.
We got a lot of parents that have 8-year-olds out there that listen to us. They're laughing even harder because this kid. How old are you now?
23.
23 still eats like he's 8 years old.
Nothing but chicken
nuggets. No vegetables, no healthy stuff. It's nothing.
Fish sticks. Do you eat fish sticks?
Yeah, fish sticks.
A lot of soda, a lot of mac and cheese. What else? Like fancy cereals?
No mac and cheese. I don't eat any pasta.
No mac and cheese. He doesn't you don't eat pasta?
It's just not something I eat.
Too adult.
He does eat raw potatoes, though.
Yeah.
What? Isn't that kind of starchy?
No, it's good. You eat raw potato with salt.
Oh, God. I remember doing that as a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Kids
this is all
that.
kid stuff.
It's delicious.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Sam's getting the scurvy.
What do you have for dessert last night?
You need some vegetables and fruits in your diet.
He has to have dessert every day, too.
Oh, right.
What was your dessert of choice?
I think I had an ice pop last night before bed.
Was it one of those plastic ones in the plastic thing that you push up?
No, we ran out of push-ups. But, my girlfriend did actually buy me Flintstones push-ups last time she was at CVS.
Oh, Flintstones push-ups!
They're all gone, though. They were orange.
It's like he's 8 years old.
That's amazing. All right.
Do you have any plans to change your diet in the future?
No.
No, why would you?
He was a picky eater growing up.
Oh, you are?
He's got a flush budget.
Yeah.
Do you eat any vegetables?
I eat raw carrots and raw celery. And
is it in a little plastic bag in your lunchbox?
And they're all cut up for me.
I picture him. Yeah, they're all cut up nice. I picture him coming in with the little plastic bag with chocolate in it, like the powdered chocolate, and he pours it in his milk and shakes it up. Chocolate milk.
Sometimes I'll have a Yoo-hoo.
A Yoo-hoo, of course.
Remind me to ask him again tomorrow. It never fails.
Love to pizza,
the diet,
Doritos, and milk.
What lucky you are to have such great metabolism to eat all that crap.
He's still young. Wait till you hit the big
one.
Oh, forget about it.
Wait till you hit the big 3-0. It happened to me 2 years ago, man, and all of a sudden, whoa!
The big 3-0.
What happened?
Wow.
Jen,
What planet are we on? The one that goes around the sun a lot slower, I'm sure.
We got a Vince McMahon update. We're following this story very, very closely.
Now Sam's coming over, head down, shaking his head slowly.
I didn't even know Sam was
upset.
a wrestling fan.
I didn't either. He kept it to himself. I knew E-Rock was the big wrestling fan.
You know what? We got to talk to E-Rock, too, because I think I go up on... I move a spot up on his hero list. If Vince McMahon's out of the picture...
No, you weren't. Vince wasn't in between you and number one.
Oh,
it was
really?
just his dad.
What was that again?
His dad and you. It was his MySpace list of heroes in his life. And what was it? Number one
is his father.
Then
me.
Number two,
Opie.
Greg Opie Hughes.
Right.
Was at number two. And I didn't even make the list.
Can I ask E-Rock something? Now, as far as I'm concerned, is it Greg Hughes, the actor that plays Opie on the Opie and Anthony show, or is it the character that I portray on the show?
It did say Opie.
Oh, all right.
And Hulk Hogan was 3, right?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was 3. So you're squeezed between his dad and Hulk Hogan.
I got confused because I thought Vince McMahon was on the list.
He was a little further down.
Oh, but he was on the list?
How many heroes do you have?
I think there was like 12.
He had like 12. Yes, Stan?
And like anything else we make fun of Eric for, he then removed it from his page within 12 hours.
Of course.
Did you really? What was your MySpace page? El Ducho Bago?
Why did you remove me from, or you removed the heroes list?
The whole list.
Why?
We all have heroes. All right, Vince McMahon.
Oh, he's nervous.
Why did you remove it? What's wrong with you?
We made fun of him.
Yeah. I want your heroes list back up there.
I want to know what the heroes list was.
And I want to be moved up past your father.
Wow. That's a tall order. Past dear old dad?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
E-Rock.
And do it on Father's Day.
Yeah, do it on Father's Day. And make sure you send out a MySpace bulletin that your dad gets.
Wait.
I got an update on my MySpace account. Just want everyone to go there and check out the updates. And your father gets it and realizes he's been knocked down a notch.
Yeah. Eric, I just want to know. Now, heroes are very important things in life, people. You usually know and are able to convey why they are indeed heroes. Your father. Mm-hmm. Why is your dad a hero? Besides just, making you, why is your dad your hero?
And why is there not Bette Midler music playing under this?
Bette Midler music.
Whatever. Why is that song? Why is Wind Beneath My Wings not playing?
That's true. Did you ever know?
Stupid.
That you're
I went with
hero?
Mariah Carey, Hero.
Yeah?
Myself, sure. That's the greatest hero song.
Is it? I don't know that one.
I think that's the
but
number
Eric
one hero song.
aspires to be things. So
yes.
Because you might be the wind beneath his wings, but technically you don't walk in his shadow. That's true.
I need to be a huge windstorm to be the wind beneath his wings.
That's true. He's singing to this tsunami.
I wish it was Friday so I could point and laugh.
It's not point and laugh Friday.
So you can just
Fun
laugh.
Fact Thursday.
Fun Fact Thursday.
Fun Fact Thursday. Eric is too fat to be lifted by a little wind.
Oh.
No disrespect. I mean, it's
It was a fun fact. What happened, E-Rock?
You don't need to.
You can't find that?
Any music?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Okay, play it a little.
Hey,
play a little
I'm
bit
your
of
hero. You better play my...
No, this is
see? I knew you'd pick my song over yours, Jimmy.
I did too.
Now, E-Rock, your dad.
Yeah.
Why is your dad a hero for you?
It's good with money. Very good with
Good
money.
with money.
He,
Why, does he know how to steal it from other people on his staff when he wins a lotto off a ticket that was supposedly community property of the rest? Forget it.
He's good with money, which means he knows how to send E-Rock a lot of money.
Oh, is that it? He's good with money. He gives it to me.
Well, way to find a really emotionally valid reason.
Really?
Yeah, a hero. The bank should be a hero then.
See, money shouldn't come up. It should be like stuff like when I need him, he's there for me. And even though
don't give him ideas.
And even though he lives in West Palm Beach and I'm up here in New York, I could call him anytime.
Why do you love your father so much? He never forgets to carry the 6. All right, good.
So why else would you say Dad is a hero?
Wait, who stopped this bit? Because I know where you're going. And I don't want to see him cry again. You made him cry last time.
I just want to know why his dad is a hero, and then I might go to number 2.
You are going to go to number 2.
I might have to go to number 2.
And then what happened last time, he got very serious and gave you a serious answer, and I openly laughed at him, and he ran out of the studio crying.
And I'll tell you why he
about that. Come on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why he picked your song.
Yeah.
Because that song would hit him as hard as the Bette Midler song.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bette Midler song would have hit him a little too hard.
That's why he didn't play that.
Yeah, he might have gotten a little choked up.
They're both loaded.
Oh, okay.
All right, continue, Ant. I know how this is going to end.
Well, I just want to know, all right, let me think. Even though, because I just want to try to relate to this a little, even though my dad, he wasn't exactly the most responsible guy in the world.
Is your dad a hero?
Yes. My dad's one of my heroes. I look up to him, even though he was very irresponsible as a father. He was a very fun guy to hang out with and talk to. Like, he enlightened me as far as life goes, real life, not that fake, phony kind of things that dads sometimes tell their kids. It's things that they think they should tell their kids about life. My dad really gave it to me straight, told me about life, let me do a lot of things and make mistakes to learn by them. You know, the analogy of falling off a horse and getting back on it? I actually literally had to do that, falling off a horse and getting back on. A lot of, he called me gave me a girl for my birthday.
Instead of a 10-speed bike, you got a girl.
Right. I got to have sex
at 13
with a girl.
That's amazing.
And that was all thanks
13?
to my hero dad. Yes,
13.
That's 13.
I got a 10-speed bike. Anthony got a broad.
I got a broad. And it was just, he treated me like an adult. And it was very good. And my dad, yes, one of my heroes, even though I do talk about him yelling at my mommy and making me very scared and giving me stomach aches and throwing spaghetti against the wall.
My dad was my hero, and I miss him.
Aww.
Jimmy, what about your swinging dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Old wave it in your face pop. Of course. No, my father's a very sweet guy. He's very emotional. He's very affectionate. My dad's a very nice guy.
Yeah, very supportive of you, too.
Very supportive. Both my parents are. So
now, E-Rock, aside from money,
exactly.
You cold fish. What your father?
He's a hero because he's good with money?
He's good with money.
Put that other song on before I bite your face. Put that lovely Bette Midler song on.
I want to hear Bette Midler now.
Oh, all right.
Now we go to Bette Midler.
All right, continue.
As E-Rock then says, now, besides the money, E-Rock, why is your dad your hero, number one hero?
Well, he's been very supportive as far as work and education.
Don't bite everybody else's hero things what they just gave for their dads.
No, we butted heads a lot as far as education decisions, career decisions, things like that. But whatever I chose, he was very supportive and.
I thought you were going to say you guys butted heads as you were both reaching for the donuts.
Oh, damn.
That's not bad.
That isn't even nice.
Yeah, but they don't know that out there. That's what makes it funny for them in Tucson. Right, Tucson?
So he's supportive of what you did.
Rock.
Good. Any other reasons why he would be your hero? Think of what a hero is to people. Inspiration, things like that.
Yeah, there's some things that he's done that I don't think I'm really allowed to mention because he doesn't want it known that he did it.
Hitman, nice.
Child pornography?
Right.
What can't you mention?
Oh, Christ.
Probably had the bullies killed. They used to pick on him. He kind of has that look like he could have been involved in some things.
He could have been.
Actually, E-Rock's father is a really good guy.
Yeah.
I just got to step out of my role on the show.
All right, the dad thing is nice. You almost feel like it's mandatory that a dad be a hero because if he's not, then you know you're kind of in a screwed up way. So that's cool. Let's move on to number 2.
Do we have to?
Yes. Opie is your number 2 hero. Mm-hmm. Right there below Dad. Now, what makes Opie a hero to you? Hero, not inspiration, things like that. I mean, that hero is a very strong word.
It is. It's somebody that it's a love. It's not
like I have a great.
Who's your number 2?
I have a great professional respect for Opie and Jimmy. It's a professional respect.
More me than Jimmy, though?
I wouldn't call them heroes. You got me the gig. I'm not stupid. What would I be, getting Jimmy water at his shows? Christ.
Uncomfortable.
No, he'd have been a dope if he said anything else. Good point.
But like a hero is... that's a strong word. What makes Opie the number 2 hero on your list?
Hero is love, Iraq.
It really is.
All right, perhaps I wasn't...
Don't you back out now.
Not backing out, but...
Number 2. If he was number 8...
taking hero as literally as you seem to be taking it.
Oh, hey! Maybe I'm my definition of hero is a little different than yours. What, casual pal?
Yeah, what's your idea of hero?
You put Dad at number 1. That should prove that your interpretation of what hero is very important and very strong because it's your father. Right. Yeah. So number 2, either there's a big drop-off, which is an insult, or he's your hero. Why is Opie your number 2 hero?
There's no way this isn't going to sound bad. All right.
Be truthful. And you could do the truth. Don't try to think of something.
I'm not.
Don't try to be cool.
Yeah, just be truthful.
Go ahead. Just look down. I'm not looking at
Shut your eyes and really think about it and go.
I'm drawing a blank here.
Hero.
No, but that's not good. You're editing yourself.
Yeah, let's go.
Don't be editing yourself.
Put yourself out there for once. It's okay.
Okay. When you guys came back to New York, I was working in some crappy top 40 station, and upon hearing your guys' show, I learned a different way to do radio, opened my mind, expanded it to a couple other areas in this business.
Just trying to figure out where the you guys splits off into Opie.
Yeah, that's inspired.
I want to see where I don't make the list at all, and Opie's number 2.
See, that hurts Anthony deep down. He'll never admit it, but
Anthony, knows.
Give me a little REM. Everybody hurts.
It needs a little.
That's what I want. I want everybody hurts. By the way, this made Iraq cry last time. Everybody hurts.
That's all you want from this segment. All right,
I won't cry, but
all right, continue.
So now, me and Opie, the show, it inspired you, taught you. Opie's the number 2 hero.
Yeah.
Continue.
Stop with the safe answers. Get to the meaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soon to be number 1.
Meaningful. Right.
When the time came around where it looked like you guys were coming back to satellite radio, which company wasn't determined yet, but Opie contacted me and offered me a position to come back to come to the show.
What type of relationship did you envision having with Opie? A guy you respected and hero worshipped. What type of relationship did you envision having with him?
Pretty much how it is now.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
By the way, we contacted you because there was no one else.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, there's no one else. Might as well pick a fan of the show. We'll be able to boss him around a little more than others. Because if you get a guy that's actually been in a bunch of markets, he's not going to listen to us. He's not going to try as hard.
We need a pushover.
We need a pushover.
I don't believe Iraq when he says pretty much the way it is now. I want to know truthfully, what did you think your relationship, or what did you want? What kind of relationship did you want?
Seriously, to be part of the show. Like, to be, well, not to this extent of the trashing that I take on a daily basis. But
did it ever hurt you? Did Opie ever hurt your feelings?
Not in a long time, I don't think so. No.
Oh, not in a long time.
When does he hurt your feelings for real?
I would say about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, but when the mics are off, you know what? It's a little different.
I think,
and I don't even need to explain that on the air.
No.
I'm confident in myself. He's confident in what he does, and it's different when we're not
How
there.
could he be?
Are you kidding me? He's
no one
hanging
else
on.
is.
The only thing preventing him from blowing his head off with a shotgun is the thing that it might get better.
All right, let's be honest. I barely know you exist.
I want to know, when has Opie hurt your feelings?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you do.
No, seriously.
You remember
I don't
every
remember
little
off my head.
raw moment. I just know that I know the relationship he wanted and the type of job he wanted here was like. You ever see those TV shows where there's the talk show host and the producer, and they like hang out and talk to each other, and the guys in the booth going, and go, and there's this respect, and the talk show host talks to the producer and is like, what are we going to do about this situation? And the producer is like in there. I think that's what E-Rock kind of envisioned.
A right-hand man type of thing.
Yes. Sort of a right-hand man.
Yes, like an Ed and Johnny type of thing, like a two comrades in arms, in a way.
Yeah, you're in it together.
Yeah,
That's it.
I was looking for a right-hand man, and then I realized that he had like a flipper for a hand.
So you have a high position on the show, and then these guys are brought on, and sometimes they give you the guff.
Unfortunately, Danny, you asked, because these guys love this stuff. He reminds me of the time that we ditched him at Giant Stadium.
Oh, wow, yeah.
After the Stones concert, right?
Yeah.
Now that had to hurt, right? That had to hurt not only on a level where you're stuck somewhere, which just sucks, but that had to hurt on a level like, if I was really taken as an equal with all the other guys and as a respected, they never would have done this to me. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't party to that. I
forgot what
probably
happened.
would've.
What happened, E-Rock? Refresh my memory.
It was the day after winning the lottery.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones concert at Giant Stadium. Supposed to meet up with them because my tickets weren't in the same section as theirs. And as soon as the concert was over, I called Ben. Ben mumbled something like he was pretending that he couldn't hear me and hung up.
I gotta be honest, it was his idea.
Yeah.
But it was pretty funny. I got him.
So you're on this emotional high. You had won. You're going to see the Rolling Stones with your buddy, and then Ben was the producer at the time, and Opie is Opie, and you're going with the guys who are your bosses.
We waited. We had to wait at least 5 minutes in the parking lot.
How did you feel?
We gave him
about that?
5 minutes.
Well, there was 80,000 people. We figured we had to wait a little bit.
5 minutes.
We figured he would get caught up with the mob of people leaving the stadium.
How did you feel when they left?
I was pissed off.
But I mean,
what were you feeling when you went to where the car used to be?
Just saw the oil stains in the parking space.
instead of being the big radio guy and like things doing good, and you're on the radio in New York, you're just the little fat kid from Florida again.
Oh,
Jimmy, it was the Rolling Stones, first time, and some of us ever saw the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
There was a skip in E-Rock's step as he's going back to the car. He's
probably thinking of talking about the show with all the guys. Hey, Opie, my hero, number 2. Did you see the way they hit the stage? It was amazing.
He can't wait to call shotgun.
Right. Shotgun, backseat guys. I'm riding up front.
For the slow ride back to Manhattan, and then empty parking spot.
So when you're standing there, what did that do? Are you like all of a sudden you're not the radio? Like all of a sudden, like, wow, man, I'm not like the radio guy who gets the respect. Like I'm just that little loser who always knew he was going to be a loser. Like no.
Oh my
I'm
God,
talking about
Jim.
the way your mind talks to you. I'm not talking about him, but that's the way you think in moments like that. Like I thought I was somebody special. I thought this was going to be something. And I
now
am
you're
just
the brunt of a joke.
That I'm the butt of a joke.
Yeah.
And I've always been the butt of a joke. Like that's the way I'm saying your self-perception.
No.
How did you feel?
I was pissed off. I was walking around like, all right, maybe I'm in the wrong section. And then I recognized where I was. I would go, shh. Oh, I went, oh, crap, I am in the right section. I'm like, no, they didn't leave. They left. They were gone.
That was great about him being pissed off. I just went, you got to take it. I'm one of your bosses.
Oh. Eric's not good at this at revealing emotional answers.
No, he's not. He tries to.
He's a sweet guy, but he's not good at revealing emotional
He tries to be strong and I was pissed off. And meanwhile, inside,
hurt.
Right below that surface is somebody who's really hurt.
Just he
about
was
that.
You know what?
Mm.
E-Rock is getting tougher, though.
Is he?
Yeah, we're toughening him up.
He'd have been crying by now last
He's not
year.
gonna cry. He won't cry. I just want to know emotionally how he felt for real.
We're getting that top 40 wussiness out of him.
Mm-hmm.
We really are. He's changing for the better, I think.
New hero list. You're gonna put one up?
Uh-oh, his mouth's getting dry. I could hear
I
it.
suppose I could.
No.
He's getting tougher, though. It has to be said. How disappointed are you, Dan? You didn't get tears from the kid, you freak.
I know. What a waste of tape.
You know, the people out there that think I'm an ass, and you have every right to think that. You have no idea how much worse it gets off air with these clowns.
Well, that's what I'm asking him now. I'm saying, do you hate when these guys kind of team up on you? Like it's those three or those four against you, and you're probably like, why am I not teamed up with somebody or part of that team? Like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, how did Sam pass you by?
Actually, Sam kind of stands out from everybody because he doesn't just. Oh yeah, maybe I get the brunt of most of this, but he does go after everybody else.
But do you go after him? Like, why would you let Sam bully you? And that's what it is. It's bullying.
Nah, not really.
Yes.
And did you notice that Sam only started being nice to you when you started getting him stuff?
Not true. What did he get him, Dan?
What is he getting you?
Wait, what did he get him?
You know.
No, Eric and me are just friends. We talk about wrestling. We have a lot in common.
He's
on
lot
my
in
heroes
common.
list.
What a smart ass.
Is Eric trying to be nicer to Sam, like with little gifts and little things like that, because he doesn't want to be humiliated by Sam by being filmed all the time and stuff like that? What'd you get you?
Eric has done a lot with his connections through the WWE.
Get you tickets and stuff.
To get me some nice things.
Aww.
And I've shown my appreciation because we're friends.
By not bullying him as much. But the second that pipeline of goods gets cut off.
Yeah, as soon as you realize he had a nice connection with the WWE, you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
well, I like the WWE.
That's not true.
Yeah, you had to make some sacrifices, didn't you?
No.
He does. E-Rock has major connections with the WWE.
Yeah.
So
he would leave the show tomorrow if they gave him a good gig over there.
This is real to me, man.
See, he's laughing now. All right, we got to take a break, E-Rock.
I don't like the fact that E-Rock didn't give any. I don't think you lied, but he didn't give any real emotional.
Yeah, no real honesty there.
Real answer.
Yeah. For another day.
I wanted to keep the show up. We were having fun, and now you're going to bring it all down with the death of Vince McMahon.
Well, Sam is on top of the story. We'll get the latest.
Still, I'm waiting. I haven't seen it in the Daily News, the Post, none of the national papers, USA Today, not CNN, Fox. No one's covering this except WWE website.
Well, you want Sam? Why wait for the break? Sam can explain all this.
Why?
Now we know that Vince McMahon died in a
fiery limo explosion.
Thank you. It was like a limo car bomb thing.
Yeah, he got in, it exploded. The firemen put it out, but nobody was found. He could have been incinerated completely.
He's presumed dead.
Presumed dead is what it says. The family made a statement through a spokesperson.
Yes, I think
that's the latest.
The vice president of WWE, some title.
Oh, and they now, why haven't the news organizations jumped on this? I saw the press conference. What I saw, they zoomed back with the camera. I saw it set up like a press conference. There were chairs, not all of them full. There was a spattering of people there, and I had never seen reporters with such broad shoulders, some with shaved heads.
Those are Stanford reporters. It's
are they?
Yeah,
okay. Because to me, they looked like wrestlers dressed like reporters.
No, that's
if you would ask me, it just looked like they were a little too big to be jotting notes down.
And they were all sitting on steroid needles, which was a little strange to me.
No, there. For whatever reason, the media, and I really appreciate it, I think it's a good move in the right direction, has decided to respect the privacy of the family.
Oh, because that's what the press does.
Ah.
Yeah. So for the first time in the history of the media, you're telling me they're actually listening when the family says, please respect our privacy.
I think it's because no body has been found, and the lead investigator of the case will be making a statement today on the WWE website. So,
what organization is the lead investigator from?
I would assume the FBI.
Oh, the FBI is involved.
But you're still ignoring the fact that we did our own investigation, Sam.
Yes.
And they flew in a pyrotechnic crew from like L.A. to Wilkes-Barre, and they blew up the limo a day before.
A day before
Vince actually did it on live TV.
Vince was supposedly killed in this.
You still don't have an answer for that.
It seems like maybe whoever was planning this might have blown up a different limo on Sunday as a
to
test.
throw everybody off the hook or a test.
Something. But I would really like some names.
Are you also attributing that to sloppy police work?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, that's why the FBI is involved now, not just some
Well, you can't have local yokels from Wilkes-Barre.
But it was a big story in Wilkes-Barre, and they were all very excited to admit that, yes, they were part of this whole scam and blew up the limo on Sunday.
I don't know what they're telling people. Everybody wants to have their name put into a big news story.
Yeah.
What about the flag at half-mast that Anthony was bringing up today?
Yes, now they're in Stamford, Connecticut, where their headquarters are.
Yeah.
They have two huge flags out front. One is the American flag. The other is the WWE flag with the logo on it.
You can see it when you drive to Boston from New York.
All the time.
Right off 95, right.
And they said the flag flying at half-staff in memory of Vince McMahon. I noticed only the WWE flag was flying at half-staff. The American flag right up at the top of the flagpole, which leads me to believe if this is indeed some type of a scam, they wouldn't fly the American flag at half-staff because they would take massive heat for disrespecting the flag, the tradition of half-staff, if he wasn't indeed dead and it was just a publicity stunt.
How do you explain that, Sam?
That's a theory that some may have. Another theory is that anybody who knew Vince McMahon would know that he was a patriot first and foremost, and
oh my God,
he would want that flag raised high,
flying high.
Yeah.
Is the investigation focusing on George the Animal Steele? I hear he had a beef with Mr. McMahon.
There's so many suspects. The WWE website reported that investigators were in his office in Stamford yesterday morning for 3 hours.
Wow.
And brought out hundreds of boxes as well as personal computers and even tore up the carpet in the office.
Oh my God!
This is serious.
I guess they're remodeling the Stanford offices. Wow. Is that what you're getting at?
I think it's investigative purposes.
That's hysterical. They're sitting in a meeting. Yeah, I have to remodel my office. What are we gonna? Hey, we can make it a storyline.
I'm imagining that Vince McMahon is on a fake suspension. Where is he?
Where is he?
Was it vacation time? What island is he hanging
Come on,
at?
Vince.
Why hasn't the media even reported it? I can see why they wouldn't bother the family.
Yeah.
Why haven't they even mentioned that he could be dead?
There's been a lot of big stories lately this week, I think.
So you think it just got pushed back?
Yeah, it got pushed back, and they said, maybe we'll let the other stories come to the forefront. We don't want to push any buttons with the wrong people. He's a very powerful man.
Well, that he is.
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He fires people,
That's true, and he's made a lot of enemies over the years. So,
and why the fake leg? Why, when he stepped into the limo, you saw his leg, and then there was no leg, and then a fake leg popped out?
I don't know that there's any documentation that was a fake leg.
Just so you, the viewer, would go, wow, he's got to be.
You know what? It would be tragic, really tragic to think of, and I hope the McMahon family doesn't think about this, that he pulled his leg into the limo, and then when his leg came out, the one that Opie calls a fake leg, it was Vince realizing that there was a bomb in the vehicle, and he was trying to get out right when it blew up, so he knew beforehand.
Then why would he close the door?
That he was...
Maybe you're not buying into this crap, are you?
Maybe he put his foot out and said, "Oh, what if there's a bomb?" And then he was like, "Well, that's a silly idea." And then he put his foot back in the second time, and then he shut the door.
For everything.
And then it did blow up, unfortunately.
Or how about thinking of other people? If that door was open when the bomb blew up, perhaps a lot of shrapnel would have flown out towards other people. And Vince, being such a humanitarian,
that's a good point.
Sacrificed himself by closing the door and keeping the blast contained.
That's another good theory.
Yeah. Sure it is.
Jimmy Snuka?
I just want to see if I can play the same game Sam's playing.
Jimmy Snuka was one of the...
It is fun.
Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah, he made comments on that Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Appreciation Night. So
we're going to have to play his ID for the show. My God, we get the brain-dead wrestlers. Great.
Rigging a bomb. That guy couldn't turn on a flashlight. He's a dolt.
Than, you want to add to Sam's theory? What are you doing?
Well, I was just confirming that, Sam, you said the FBI is investigating this.
Yes, that's what I've read. Yes, is the answer.
Okay. Well, I just read that the FBI is adamantly saying they're not at all involved with the case.
Well,
where was this read, though? Where'd you read this?
Yeah, the FBI doesn't want any part of this.
Yeah, from a related news story on the internet.
Yeah,
Just some internet gossip
story.
Bloggers.
Yeah, some bloggers. They can't get anything done.
Just jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just want to stir the pot.
Yeah, the federal agent involved is not the FBI. If there is one.
I saw a picture of him on the WWE website, and he looked like a federal agent.
He was.
He looked like if you went to general casting, you could not have picked a better federal agent than the guy.
One of Vince McMahon's cousins.
You think it is?
Hey, he keeps it all in the family. All right, you're going to play the fake FBI agent.
I don't know if he's fake.
Or you're fired from the McMahon family.
Yeah, just because it's a guy in suit with widow's peak does not mean he's the FBI, Sam.
Yeah. Well, they said he's a federal agent.
He looks a lot like Vince McMahon. Like
Here's what I predict.
Yeah.
Sometime in the future, when Vince McMahon's injuries, he's recovered a bit from them.
Or he's done with his vacation in the Bahamas. Yes.
There will be introduced a new wrestler. One that is masked in some way, shape, or form. And with gloves and stuff so you cannot see anything. And then there will be, years from now probably, during the unveiling, you will see a burnt and scarred up Vince McMahon under that mask with his hands burnt up and everything as he gets revenge on the person that planted the bomb.
That would be wonderful if it was true.
Here's the...
that's what I'm guessing.
Here's the...
Great storyline, by the way. It's the first storyline I've actually had interest in years. Because Vince is dead.
Here's the...
Unfortunately.
Here's the statement that WWE made overnight.
Oh, okay. Very somber representative.
Good afternoon. I'm Ed Kaufman, Executive Vice President and General Counsel for World Wrestling Entertainment Inc.
There's you hear one Kodak Instamatic camera going off.
There were definitely flashes going off. That's how you know the press were.
There were flashes going off. Flash bulbs.
We had a bigger press conference in Vegas.
I have a brief statement to make.
Yes.
I will not be taking any questions.
Big powder flash going off. Civil War.
I would like to thank everyone who has sent their support and best wishes over the past week. Federal authorities are currently investigating the events that took place on June 11, and we hope to get some answers shortly. As many of you can understand, this is a very difficult situation for the McMahon family, and no family members wish to make a statement during this period of bereavement.
Bereavement, yeah.
Nonetheless, the McMahon family does want to assure the public that in keeping with the vision Mr. McMahon created, the company and the show will go on.
Yeah.
We trust that the press and the public will continue to respect the McMahon family's privacy.
The press has respected it like I've never seen before. They haven't even mentioned it. They'll continue to respect the privacy. Yeah, well, they're doing a great job.
I'd rather follow Nicole Smith around for a little longer.
They can't get enough of celebrities doing anything. Paris Hilton for a month.
With stupid DUI, and they're outside that jail every day. But
camping out.
They're going to respect Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon dies in a fiery explosion that someone obviously set. He's been murdered. Vince McMahon's been murdered.
But they're going to respect the privacy of the family.
By not even mentioning it at all.
They don't want to interfere in the ongoing investigation.
I can't play along with this crap anymore. Get lost.
I love Sam. Oh, he's with it right to the end.
You might be right, though. I mean,
you never know. That's why I'm reserving. I'm holding back. I'm reserving judgment.
We're going to take your father's stories next. We got a couple good ones on the line here. As we go to break, an old friend, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, doing an ID for our show.
Oh, this went on for it was ponderous.
Is this a long one too? It's 20 seconds.
We have one of these that go on for like 5 minutes.
You guys are educated enough. You get the celebrity high on blah blah, and you're listening to Opie and Anthony. That's all we want.
Is this the one with Psycho Mark directing? Or?
It takes 3 seconds usually. This is 20 seconds, and we cut it down from, I think it was closer to a minute.
Okay, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. This is a Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and you, okay, let me start. You're listening to Opie and Anthony. This is Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and you're listening to Opie and Anthony. It's the Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and you're listening to Opie and Anthony. Superfly Jimmy Snuka on your radio dial.
The Vince McMahon thing. Anthony, what's going on? We've been following this very closely the last few days.
Again, I was tuning into all the news stations. Opie, you know me. I'm a news hound. I love going to the websites. I go to all the news websites. I read blogs. And then I turn on the news. I have my head buried in the newspapers, magazines, everything. Still, and I don't even know how many days this is. Oh, our expert on this situation, Sam, is coming into the studio. But not a peep from the conventional media. The only place I'm seeing, reading about Vince McMahon's death, apparent death.
They're hinting that he is dead.
At the hands of a murderer.
Yeah.
Who planted a bomb in his limousine, which incinerated his body.
Now, if you were going to kill Vince McMahon, Sam, by the way, why would you want a lot of attention on the actual incident? Wouldn't you do this in, like, when the cameras were all off?
Vince McMahon.
That would kind of throw off the investigators because they wouldn't have much evidence. They wouldn't have video evidence.
Now they have video evidence.
They wouldn't have video evidence that makes it look so freaking fake with a fake leg coming out of the limo.
Fake leg?
It happened after a wrestling taping.
Well, it was live, not a taping.
No, it was live, yeah. Live. But it wasn't live because we did some investigating with the Wilkes-Barre Police Department, and we found out that they flew in pyrotechnic experts, and they blew up the limo a day early. Matter of fact, they blew it up a day early before Vince was even in town.
I want to know.
There was a little trickery with the video and making it look like Vince walked into a limo. He certainly did. But then they cut to the limo that they blew up the day before.
I want to know who flew in and where they got this other limo, because obviously on Sunday they had a different limo that they blew up as practice because they blew up Vince McMahon's limo live on Monday.
So the pyrotechnic experts practiced blowing up a limo on Sunday, and then, like, the real murderers blew up Vince's limo on Monday.
Yes, I believe that is facts.
They could have killed Vince and tried to make it look like an accident, like they were going to blow up a limousine for something completely different, and then decided to get Mr. McMahon into the limousine and then blow it up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just still stunned that Fox News, CNN, all the local news outlets are still respecting the privacy of the McMahon family by not even mentioning this.
Yeah, and also, there's not a lot of information to get into yet because the investigation is still...
There's video of his limo blowing up.
Well, Sam, that's another thing I want to get into. The investigation itself.
Yeah.
As I read...
Can you remind people before you bring the latest facts into this, Anthony, that they flew the WWE flag at half-mast up there at their Stanford headquarters?
Yes, they did.
But not the American flag?
No, not the American flag. That was high up on the flagpole, which led me to believe, perhaps they realized the flack and heat they would take that if Vince McMahon was not dead, to fly a flag at half-staff for a storyline would probably infuriate people that know the rules of flying flags at half-staff.
Especially that we're at war.
Yeah.
How do you explain that one, Sam?
Well, I told you, he's a patriot, first and foremost, above everything. He was a patriot first and then a billionaire second. And I know that Vince would not want that flag flown at half-mast. He'd want it up as high as it goes in the sky.
Okay. And of course the WWE flag half-mast because he's...
It's symbolic.
The chairman.
Yeah.
Okay, now the investigation itself.
Yeah.
I had read that the federal probe expands. Now they showed a picture. I've seen this guy. He's rifling through papers and files, I guess, in Vince's office.
Yeah.
And he looks like a wrestler dressed like a federal agent.
I would disagree. He looks like a federal agent to me.
Right. Well, that's all subjective, I guess. But now I remember reading that the FBI was taking over this investigation from the local Wilkes-Barre Police Department because obviously the Wilkes-Barre Police Department just incompetent handling this investigation. So the feds had to be brought in. Now I'm seeing, perhaps because the FBI was denying that this ever happened, and if there was an explosion where someone was killed in a car, they would be involved in this along with ATF. They are now saying that it's the Federal Investigation Center. Well, they've kind of switched. They've kind of switched that from the FBI. Now that kind of leads me to believe just little, I'm being open-minded here, that the FBI called up the WWE and said, could you not say the FBI is involved in this because we're not?
Yeah, we don't want to be involved with your shenanigans.
With your
all right?
Shenanigans.
You do whatever you want, but don't say that the FBI is involved. How do you explain that one, Sam?
We're trying to work on, like, anti-terrorism and things like that. We don't have time to field phone calls about Vince McMahon and his exploding limousine.
And his fake death.
So now it is the Federal Investigation Center. FIC is in charge of the investigation.
Sam? Obviously happened was that the FBI was getting nowhere. You know, nothing has happened since Monday.
All right, so they had to bring FIC in.
And people are calling them and saying, what's the word? And they don't know, so they're making things up. And we have to bring in other federal authorities to really...
All right, Sam, you just said that. Now... give us some background on FIC.
Yeah, do you know anything about
investigations have they done over the years?
You know something? There are also 20,000 shows over the years about every law enforcement division ever in the history of law enforcement. I've seen everything from just ordinary beat cops to the most, like CSI, those kind of shows. Where it's very involved, forensics. We've had Quincy doing medical examiner. I mean, every aspect of law enforcement has been covered. The FBI has been covered in shows, the FBI and the X-Files, things like that. I mean, you name it, it's been covered. I've never seen the FIC show.
Well, I don't have any formal information, but it's my understanding that this is a very secretive group.
Well, then why are they brought in on the WWE investigation?
To comfort people who realize that nothing is happening and something has to happen because we don't even have a body yet.
Boy, why would the FBI crap out? They never just go, look, we give up in a week.
It's only been like a week, yeah.
I don't think they gave up. I think the investigation was taken away from them by the Federal Investigation Center.
By FIC. FIC came in. So it was like that South Park episode.
Yeah.
All right, we're in charge now.
Yeah.
What?
And the FBI's going
You're off the case.
And the FBI is just going to throw their hands in the air and go, okay, we're out of here.
I guess they know that FIC is above them.
We got the head FIC, I don't know, guy here, Daniel Beck.
Is anyone above FIC in the federal government as far as investigating? What about the CIA?
Probably not, because I've heard of the CIA.
Oh, okay. And since you haven't heard of FIC, they got to be higher.
Well,
okay.
Well, we got the head of
that, Sam.
We got the head of FIC making a statement from the FIC Center.
FIC Center.
It's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta?
Yes.
Of course. They're all in Atlanta.
How about that? Okay.
Here's what he has to say about the investigation.
My name is Daniel Beck, and I'm the federal investigator in charge of this case.
Mr. Ben, any evidence?
Unfortunately, this is still an open investigation, so we will not be answering any questions relating to this incident at this time. Thank you.
We need answers.
Wait.
We need answers.
What reporter
We need answers.
Was that the media?
It's frustrated reporters.
Well acted.
I didn't realize they got Steve to play one of the reporters up there.
Well,
in Stanford.
Actually, the guys that were the reporters, somehow we're all bigger than Steve.
Yeah.
And we're working out. I guess, writing on a pen with a pencil on a pad really works your biceps because these reporters were huge.
They're the best of the best.
They really were huge. As a matter of fact, if they lose their jobs as reporters, I think they could be wrestlers. I really think they could be wrestlers.
As long as somebody's alive to hire them.
Okay.
I'm hearing they're looking at King Kong Bundy. Is this true?
He's a possibility.
He's a possibility, yeah.
Any other real solid suspects or persons of interest, as I like? Does FIC call them that? Because I know the FBI.
Again, we don't know a lot about the Federal Investigation Center.
They're like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
And why can't they find a body? Not even a piece.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, all the eyewitnesses talked about how extremely hot that fire was, and apparently it was so hot that his body was completely...
We got the fake eyewitnesses.
Well, that's not what they were described as.
We got the fake eyewitnesses.
Eyewitness accounts.
And they're all truck drivers. Truck driver.
That worked for WWE.
Well, yes, they do happen to work the TV trucks, because that's where his limo happened to be parked.
Oh, great. We got truck driver 1, truck driver 2, and truck driver 3. These are our are eyewitnesses.
How about cameraman one that was videotaping the whole thing?
Yeah.
What about him? I think he's one of the best eyewitnesses. Because all I hear from the truck drivers, and you'll hear in these clips, is how they felt an intense heat.
Yeah.
Get the interview from the cameraman, and he'll say, here's what I saw.
Right. They told me to stop filming the limo after Vince McMahon got in. Then at that point, we cut to the limo that we blew up the day before.
Sam, comment on the cameraman?
My guess is they're probably in custody.
Oh,
they are
really?
probably under a gag order of some sort to not talk about the event publicly.
Charlie in Philly's asking if David Caruso is the lead investigator of FIC.
No.
Well, Frank, it seems this situation's getting hotter and hotter. Yeah!
All right, here we go. Here's one of the eyewitness accounts.
It was the end of the evening. It was a little longer show than we normally do. It was about 3 hours. I was up on the back of the truck starting to unplug some of the satellite trucks and some of the sound gear, and all of a sudden the sky lit up like a volcanic eruption. There was heat that could be felt, and there was this huge eruption, and it was the limousine exploding, not maybe 150 feet in front of my truck. You could actually feel the heat coming off of the paint as it burned on the car.
Now, I've been studying the video for a while now, and we had Taz on the phone.
Yeah.
Because we're doing our own investigation.
Oh, yeah.
And Taz was concerned about his own car that was parked about 70 feet away from the exploding limo, right? The video I'm watching, there's not a car to be seen for about a mile.
Obviously, Taz was confused.
Yeah, okay.
Taz can be confused sometimes.
And we've been backstage at some of these wrestling events. They all crowd into a little area with their own cars. You know, the Vince limos and the wrestlers come in in their SUVs.
The fans actually line the drive out.
Yeah.
And they cheer at some of the wrestlers who drive their own vehicles and stuff, and then the limos that pull out. So why was Vince's limo so far from anything?
It pretty much looked like it was in an open field there, Sam, which is impossible if you've ever been to a wrestling event.
Yeah, there's a big chain link fence behind it, and I don't think you'd park a limo there. Why wouldn't Vince want the limo in the venue?
Well, ever since losing his ECW world title, Vince has been somewhat despondent.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me that he's been doing things as far away from other people as possible.
Sam, you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Could this, now I hate bringing this up, I know how you feel about Vince, and if the McMahon family is listening, I want to voice my apology for even saying this. Is suicide a question here?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Okay.
I don't even want to
Understood.
begin to think about that.
Or maybe Vince finally realized that he looks completely ridiculous with that shaved head of his.
Those hairs growing in. He's in the middle phase. It's not working out.
And he's so vain, we all know that he probably decided, you know what, I'm going to take a month off, 10 in the Bahamas, my hair will grow back, all will be good with the world.
You're so cynical.
I mean, he wouldn't have blown up in his limo then.
Yeah.
Here's another eyewitness account.
Well, I was sitting in my truck, getting ready to begin loadout, and out of nowhere, a flash of light came over the bumper of the truck, and a huge explosion that shook the truck back and forth. Hopped out of the truck, and I could still feel the heat as the ball of flame was rising into the air. It was burning the hair on my arm. There was nothing we could do. We tried to get close, and we just couldn't get close enough to do anything.
Guy's believable.
By the way, an American flag is not allowed to be flown at half-mast without a government proclamation.
Right.
And since he's only presumed dead.
And finally, the last eyewitness account. We got to take a break here, but
standing out back of the arena with the rest of the truck drivers, waiting on the show to let out, waiting on time for loadout, everybody to get their stuff and get the heck on. So we're standing there. All of a sudden, Mr. McMahon comes out, gets in his car, and boom, the whole thing blows up. It was absolutely the largest explosion I've ever seen in my life. Glass everywhere, doors off, hood up, trunk back. It was a disaster. Standing there looking at everything. I have never seen anything like that before in my life.
He's basically admitting that the experts did a great job blowing up the limo.
Well, that's not what he said.
The day before Vince got in it.
Well, it is confirmed that a criminal party engineered the explosion. The next question to answer is how the scheme was carried out. To fill in the blanks regarding the specifics, WWE.com contacted Patrick C. Riggs, a veteran explosives expert from Brooklyn. Watching the video blast, Riggs was able to determine that it was a professionally structured, calculated blast.
I knew it.
However, since most, if not not all usable evidence seems to have been destroyed, Riggs claimed that not everything he says can be guaranteed. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. No amateur would have had the knowledge to create an explosion of that intensity without prior experience and knowledge of explosives. Such a blast could not have been constructed so precisely. So, which wrestlers have experience in explosives? Now, that's where they should be looking. Maybe that's where Fick is looking?
I would assume that's exactly where they're looking.
All right, Sam.
We should interview the guy that runs Ted's Dangling Left Leg Shop in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Fake legs.
Specialize in dangling left legs.
And dummy legs. A store full of dummy legs. All right, Sam. So enough. And then we got the fans now coming out of the woodwork, and they're so distraught they're falling over. I saw that this morning, Anthony.
Oh, people are just distraught. They've set up like a little memorial with pictures, flowers, teddy bears.
At Titan Tower there.
At Titan Towers, of course.
Yeah.
They've set it up. People have come from thousands of miles away. One gentleman was in a powder blue suit jacket with the old WWF logo on it, and his friend said he would strut around like Vince McMahon. He was inconsolable, crying his eyes out. Two of his friends had to actually carry him away from the situation. He was shaking, quivering.
Yeah.
But again, none of this on any of the news.
No.
Thank God.
All right, well
respecting the privacy of the McMahon family.
Well, Sam's on it.
Sam, are you investigating this? Is this like taking up most of your time?
Yeah, I think my next batch of evidence I'll be looking at will be on SmackDown tonight.
Well, that's where you got to go.
Clue will be on SmackDown.
Do you think Fick is going to be there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fick is going to be at SmackDown watching people, probably trying to find suspects.
Yeah.
Profiling.
Yeah.
They got a profiler on this?
I hope so.
Yeah, so do I.
Sam is way on it, and we're not. You better get Sam in here because we finally got him.
I don't know how Sam is going to explain this.
The Wall Street Journal's reporting, newsflash, pro wrestling is fake.
No, I'm willing to believe both sides here. See, I'm listening to both sides, and I'll make up my own mind. And Sam has done a great job in convincing me that there has been a tragedy in the WWE, that the chairman, Mr. McMahon, is indeed dead. A horrible, fiery limousine explosion claimed his life last week. Supposedly. They haven't found the body, but I've seen the charred limo. I saw the explosion. I saw him get into the limo.
You saw that big sport coat laying in the road?
No, they have
not found anything. That giant jacket.
I liked him in the 70s when he was all roided up. He had that big neck.
Size 63 shoulders.
Giant.
And a 27-inch waist.
Yeah. Hanging with Lyle Alzado.
Dude, the video clip. They blew up his limo after he got in it. But all of a sudden, like, his foot was in the limo, and then it came back out and it was dangling like a fake foot. And then went back in, and then the limo exploded.
Opie's with the fake foot theory.
The Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah.
Foot. Super Dave.
And then we've been doing our own investigation. We found out there was a pyrotechnics crew from L.A. that was flown into Wilkes-Barre to blow up the limo a day before he got in it. You know, we're way on top of this, and Sam over here just wants to believe.
Sam would like to believe that Vince is alive, because he's taking this very hard.
I wish I could.
He wishes he could. Well, I guess...
You want the Stephanie McMahon audio first?
Yeah, we start out... now, this is from last night?
Yeah, last night's Raw was another... Everybody's still getting over the tragedy.
So you still watch wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Are you aware of the UFC, which is basically... the real deal? Guys talk smack and then they actually beat the crap out of each other for real?
Yeah, but it doesn't have the pizzazz.
Are you a fan of musicals?
No, Pizzazz is the new tag team. They're called the Pizzazz. You obviously are a big WWE fan, and
the biggest.
Yeah, and Vince McMahon, the tragic loss has really shaken him up.
What's happening with Chief Jay Strongbow's storyline?
He hasn't been around for a little while.
I heard he got beat by Larry Zbyszko.
Wow, Larry Zbyszko reference. A couple other things for Bill. They also flew the flag at half-mast up there in Stanford.
Well,
but not the American flag.
No, the WWE flag was being flown at half-mast because because they knew what kind of crap they'd catch if they flew the American flag at
Sam
half
still
mast.
wants to believe.
When they still don't have a body, is what I mean.
Presumed dead.
Presumed dead.
And instead of having the FBI investigate this limo explosion in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, they got the what?
Well, they had federal investigators from the Federal Investigation Council or Center. Federal Investigation Center.
Now, right when this happened,
the rec room of the federal agency.
No, they're apparently a lot higher than the FBI. But when this first started, I guess WWE was putting out statements that the FBI was looking into this, and then all of a sudden it turned into the FIC, which is the Federal Investigation Center.
Everyone is pretty much pissed off about this storyline.
Because the FBI put out a statement saying, look, we don't know anything about a car bomb. Yeah, we would have been involved in this.
Right. We're worried about terrorists entering America.
Yeah.
Leave us out of your stupid storyline.
The ATF would have been involved. Like a bunch of people. The Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania Police Department, which was where the venue was when this happened, has, in a statement, said the explosion at the Wachovia Arena was a staged event overseen by firefighters and that Mr. McMahon was not injured.
Well, that's silly. Because obviously he was injured.
Well, he's presumed dead. Now Sam has brought up a good point that the Wilkes-Barre Township Police Department has so botched this case that they are now just denying it ever happened. Because they botched the investigation.
They left evidence in the sun.
Yeah, they've just ruined the investigation. Now the FIC has to step in, and that is why they're now saying that this happened another day and was supervised. But that's all crap, right?
That's ridiculous. I mean, they got the case taken away from them almost immediately.
By the FIC.
Yeah.
Not the FBI.
No, not the FBI. FBI is busy with smaller things. This is the FIC. Now, Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Last night, what show was it last night?
It was on Raw.
Last night. And she had an emotional statement. Finally, though, to hear from the McMahon family. I think that was very good.
And we have to keep in mind that last Sunday was the first Father's Day that Shane and Stephanie did not have their father.
Did not have their father.
In the ring with them at the same time.
No,
I mean,
I'm sure they had a fine meal behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, he's presumed dead, Opie. And the guy, just think of the McMahon mansion. I'm sure that huge palatial mansion. No matter how big and how richly decorated the place is, how alone those kids must have been.
That probably was the loneliest place in America.
Exactly. And with the but thank God, I want to right now say thank you to CNN, Fox News, all the big news agencies for letting the family grieve and not even reporting on it at all. The fact that a chairman of a company was blown up in a limousine, and they haven't even touched the story. By one of his employees that is still on the loose. And they've given this family the privacy that they never give people.
Well, they asked for the privacy. And the media said, all right, we'll give you your privacy. For the first time
ever
in the media's history, they decided to give the privacy.
Sam, do you have an explanation as to maybe why these news agencies would give the family this privacy?
Well, they saw the way the Wilkes-Barre Police Department flubbed to the point that they're denying it ever happened.
Yeah.
So they're saying, we're not going to mess this up more. We want to see somebody come to justice. It's an open investigation.
All right.
And obviously, we saw on television last night that the investigators are questioning people.
All right, now, that got me, too. Before we get right to the tape here, the investigator from the FIC was at SmackDown?
No, at Raw.
At Raw, I'm sorry. He was at Raw conducting the investigation?
Yeah.
Now, why wasn't he at FIC headquarters, like in an interrogation room, maybe questioning suspects like Mick Foley?
Yeah, with some phone books and some rough lighting.
Having ringside seats.
I see Bobby Lashley as a big suspect. I'm putting my money that Crime Time had something to do about this. Crime Time, by the way, my newest favoriteest tag team ever. These two, they're two black guys who apparently own items that were stolen from Mr. McMahon. And apparently, what do they do? do sometimes?
Well, they tried to sell the McMahon items as a memorial on television last
They're
night.
selling Vince's stuff
on TV.
But what have they done in the past?
Well, in the past, one of them will distract Jerry the King Lawler while he's doing color commentary, while the other takes his laptop off the table and
they steal
runs
things
to the bank.
It's hysterical.
Takes his what?
Yeah, the UFC doesn't do that, Bill Maher.
His computer.
His laptop.
I love wrestling.
Laptop.
I'm just trying to trash it.
All right, so
it's so funny. Of course, Paul London's a suspect, and John Cena is a suspect.
It's pronounced Cena.
Cena, excuse me. I don't know. I don't know.
We've had him on the show, and he's a great guy.
He wasn't a wrestler when he was on the show. He was in a movie.
All right. You want the Stephanie McMahon audio from last night?
Please.
All right, here's what she had to say.
On behalf of the McMahon family, I would like to thank all of you for your letters, your phone calls, and your...
When are they going to get her an acting lesson? She's been on TV for a decade.
Well, this is her mentor right here.
My God. Right, her father.
The picture from the Wall Street Journal.
Her father with the over-the-top acting. You're fine.
I love when something happens.
That's a good McMahon.
Yeah,
my
we've
favorite
been doing it for years. It's easy, Bill.
is when something happens that Vince didn't expect to happen, and his eyes open, and his mouth, and he goes, oh, what the? Yeah! And he's all like flustered. He doesn't know what to do.
He makes Ted Knight look understated.
Hi, guy. So we shouldn't be laughing at a time like this. Stephanie's very choked up. You could hear it in her voice.
Yeah, back to Stephanie and her bad acting.
I would like to thank all of you for your letters, your phone calls, and your emails.
Yeah.
While your sympathy was sometimes surprising, you have no idea how much it meant to me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
My father wanted to leave this world the same way he lived it.
In an exploding car.
Possible, which is why the McMahon family is inviting all of you to join us next week in a special 3-hour celebration.
She's plugging a show for next week.
What's a celebration? We're all getting involved.
That's great, Sam.
She's plugging the show.
That's just wonderful.
Oh, is that great? Wow, Crime Time, they look badass,
They
man.
don't even spell crime the right way.
It's
Or time, for that matter, right.
T-Y-M-E, Crime Time.
Yeah.
These guys, are they good in the ring?
They're pretty good.
Are they pretty good?
Yeah.
Is one named Crime and the other Time?
No.
No, they're just both Crime Time.
All right.
Do they talk all badass and...
Yeah, they have a little Ebonics twinge.
Are they like Ebonics and very urban?
Yes, quite urban.
Do they come out to hip-hop music?
They do, as a matter of fact.
They do?
Yes.
Okay. I gotta check this out now.
Yep.
All right. Crime Time.
Next week, superstars from Raw, SmackDown, and ECW
She's
will join
plugging
us
in her sorrow.
celebration of my father, Mr. McMahon.
We're going to miss him. Please go to www.makeusmoremoney.com.
WWE.com.
They could have done a better job with that.
The greatest thing of ever is going to be if he really is dead. If it honestly was a murder, and they no one will believe
one's taking it seriously. They're pleading to the police.
His kids killed him for the money, and no one will believe it.
How brilliant would that be as kids to go, look, we could kill our father.
They should just
get the money and make it a storyline, and no one will believe it.
As long as you make it you film it, and you have a bunch of people with bad acting around it, they'll never believe it.
Tell all the people that it's a work, all that wrestlers and everything, but only Stephanie and Shane O'Mac know that they actually murdered their father.
How about he's still alive now and he's like, we got him fooled, and he's out back having breakfast,
or that,
and he comes by and
just blows his head off, and her and Shane bury him at the compound,
right?
And then they just are like, "Where's Vince? Yeah, he blew up in that car.
We told you he blew up.
For
in the
years,
car.
they just keep telling the FIC or whatever.
The FIC.
We're still going with that storyline.
Investigators.
The ratings are off the hook. We got to stay with this.
We got to stay with the storyline.
All right, here's.
Oh, Vince is really dead.
or if he chokes on an eggshell and dies
some accidental
in some
death.
awful way. Yeah, he slips on a mop and glow.
No one believes it.
Or it's an accidental death at this point, and then they really arrest those kids and throw them in jail over a dumb storyline.
Now, some of you might feel that Mr. McMahon doesn't deserve a celebration. Mr. McMahon was not loved He was not sympathetic and he was not kind. But the
What?
man you know
Still doing
as
that?
Mr. McMahon is the only man I have ever known as my dad.
Oh.
And my dad is the most important person in this world. Was.
I mean was. Past tense, because he's dead. That crowd was lame. Where's one drunk dude standing up and goes, show your dick, show your burp. Nothing, man.
No. They were
no
giving
creativity
respect.
in that audience last night.
It's a time of grieving right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Time of grieving.
All right, one more quick clip, and then we'll give you the update. I'm sorry, Sam. It's over for you.
Well.
And this Sunday's pay-per-view
Pay-per-view plug-in.
might be named Vengeance, but vengeance will be true.
What?
What? How about she writes it down? I mean, I know these wrestlers like to kind of go.
You know, one row beneath her link on WWE.com.
Yeah.
The link to watch this speech.
Yeah.
That Stephanie has given, her emotional speech about her dead dad.
Yeah.
Is the Diva Hot Box, where it shows all the sexy divas of the WWE.
Yeah, Sam.
They haven't wiped the site off and just
Sam,
put a picture of Vince up
why
there.
not an RIP with just Vince's picture?
Couple of weeks of
just a memorial.
Yeah, it would be all black with whatever year to whatever year.
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, they're
why not
showing
that for a week or two?
I see it down there. It says in memory of Mr. McMahon, 1945 to 2007.
Where's
Rest
that
in
buried?
peace. It's well below Diva Hot Box.
If you look at what that
And
actually
Rise of the
is,
Hardys is more important.
Cell phone
and
wallpaper.
WWE Shop, the official website store.
The memorial picture is cell phone wallpaper that you can purchase for yourself.
Exactly, and 24/7 online summer skin. You
That's
can
wonderful,
download
Sam.
some of your favorite girls from the Daily Diva.
They buried the Vince's dead link.
How do you think he's coming back? Do you think they're going to do the hacky, tattered clothes with fake dirt on his face?
Like
Or
a
they-
cartoon
Yeah, or are
explosion?
they going to go with the full body cast? With the leg up and the arm, triangle above you.
I foresee a somehow masked wrestler who will be Vince.
What?
He'll
And
come
you're not
back
gonna
for
tell it's
vengeance.
him? You're going to see the baloney boots and go,
Yeah,
whoa.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be
say
him.
that 62-year-old man boob.
Right.
It
That's
doesn't
him.
necessarily have to be him. At one point, like a glove will come off, and you'll see a burnt hand, and the guy will scramble to put the glove back on and run off, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, that might be Vince."
That'll be the first clue.
But it won't be him,
He might
though.
be
It
alive.
It won't be him.
Vince.
It'll be a real wrestler
Yeah.
guy, and then at the end, it'll be Vince maybe with some makeup on or something.
No, Vince will come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks mask guy is Vince. That'll be somebody else. Vince will come
Yeah.
from somewhere else.
I would
I don't know
actually.
where.
I would
don't
actually.
care either.
From the back of the arena with his eyes as wide as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought I was dead. Well, I'm not.
How funny would it be if there was no reaction from the crowd if he said that and then two people were like,
Wow. Sam, I hate that we actually
got-
brought up the fact that he might be alive kind of a thing. I know how that upsets
Wait,
me.
we got the last bit of the Stephanie clip here.
All right.
The moment that my family finds out who did this to my dad.
Dad.
Aw. She dropped the mic and walked out.
Wow, yeah,
She
because-
just was overcome with grief.
Right. Just in
It
case
was,
one of the wrestlers dies, she doesn't want to be accused of murdering them, thinking that that wrestler and these wrestlers drop off, I mean.
And her motivation to get the real tears going was how bad she sucks at acting.
I just look so bad acting.
All right.
Good.
This
I can't get out of this.
this just came in now. This is a news flash.
I imagine that Vince is going to be on TV by the end of the week because now he's messing with the stock. And that's not good.
In staged limo explosion, publicly traded WWE gets away with murder. And it says at most companies, the execution-style murder of the chairman would be a cause for alarm. At World Wrestling Entertainment, it's just another day in the ring. In a news release put out on Business Wire and fed into the company research pages on websites including Yahoo, TheStreet.com, and WallStreetJournal.com, wrestling promoter WWE reported that at the end of Monday Night Raw on USA Network, Chairman Vince McMahon's limousine suddenly exploded after Vince McMahon got into the vehicle. The release adds, quote, although full details have not been disclosed, initial reports indicate that Mr. McMahon is presumed dead. An official investigation into Monday night's event is currently underway. Throughout the night, people from Mr. McMahon's past, from Donald Trump to Snoop Dogg to Bob Costas, Stone Cold Steve Austin, had less than flattering things to say about the WWE chairman, but would go only as far as to, but would any go so far as to actually blow him up? Would they?
That's the question I'm asking.
Exactly. Police in Wilkes-Barre Township, Pennsylvania, in a statement said the explosion at the Wachovia Arena was staged, overseen by firefighters, and that Mr. McMahon wasn't injured. A quote, contrary to what is being reported on internet websites and other media sources, unquote, is what they're saying, that this is a staged event. The WWE had no public comment beyond what was in the release. So what they're saying is, and they have a picture of Vince with his eyes open real wide, his mouth open, and it says, Vince McMahon, if it were any other firm, the SEC would howl, the Security and Exchange Commission. If you said, like, out of nowhere, that the chairman of a big company was blown up and murdered in a limo, it would affect the stock price.
And the SEC would get involved.
And they would absolutely get involved if you were staging this and saying he's dead.
And that's the thing. They're not...
I bet you they're doing a rewrite in Stanford behind closed doors. Like,
oh, wait a minute. We're in trouble with Wall Street.
This could affect my money.
I'm alive.
Or there'll be a videotape or something. He's kidnapped or something. They'll be so they can keep the storyline going. He'll be in like in a dungeon somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta help me.
What, ransom?
Yeah. Buy. I mean, sell. Buy. Sell.
Or they'll email his finger like that awful bad guy from Escape from New York. He was like, trying to be creepy, but he was dressed like he was in a Pat Benatar video. Or the guy that bought the president's brain, he was supposed to be like really frightening, just a douche with frosted hair. Brain.
What an ass.
Hey, let's go to Long Island. Rob, real fast.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, how strange and funny do you think it would be if, like, Vince McMahon right now is in Aruba and he dies in a parasailing accident? I don't think they would explain that.
And he gets eaten by sharks.
Well, he just goes missing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Just goes missing. Sam, finally, any explanation on this article here?
Well, all their news is coming from that same goofy police department.
Oh, the goofy police department. Yeah. That is the Wilkes-Barre...
the Keystone Cops.
Exactly.
They're not that far away. Why don't we have the goofy police department come in here and you can tell them to their face?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of things to get done on a daily basis.
You're a busy man. And you have complete faith in the Daniel Beck?
No, yeah.
Who is the lead investigator with the FIC, who has been questioning people at the event instead of... And did the cameras kind of show him questioning people?
Yes, so we all knew that he's questioning people.
You don't think it's weird that Bob Costas would actually trash Vince McMahon after he got blown up?
No,
a guy is middle of the road is Bob Costas.
It was right before. That's why it's suspicious.
So it's suspicious.
All these people were saying these mean, nasty things.
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah.
You know... the way you're kind of selling this story like this, I'm almost thinking you're a little too suspicious in the way you're going about this.
He's a little too broken up about it.
Yeah, he's too broken up. He's too willing to go along with the investigator and stuff. You're like the guy that was with Columbo all the time.
No.
Lieutenant, it's an easy solution. I can't understand how he got into the limousine and it blew up. What? Mr. Columbo, it's easy. Lieutenant, there was obviously a leak in the gas line. Why didn't I see that? Of course. It's like they always kind of, you seem like that guy.
No, it's just, Vince McMahon meant a lot to me. You know.
I'll get him a tissue. God damn, he's tearing up.
And I just want there to be somebody, because other media outlets are completely disrespecting the whole event. Just because of other things that maybe the WWE has done in the past.
Okay.
That maybe haven't been real, quote unquote.
Quote unquote. It's either real or not.
Right.
Quote unquote.
And there should be a voice, if we're going to talk about it, you know what I mean? Somebody there to say, I'm mourning with you.
I think Sam
he's just being a genuine guy.
Sam, what was your brain food last night?
Oh, right.
It's the diet of an 8-year-old.
He eats like an 8-year-old boy.
What did you eat last night?
Well, I had a little combo platter, some mini fish sticks with pizza rolls last night.
He eats dinner. Like he's 8.
We learned that his diet is of an 8-year-old.
And a big glass of milk, right?
Yeah.
So milk, fish sticks, and what?
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. Any dessert last night?
Milk and fish.
No, not last
Did you actually
night.
make it to the toilet or just stay there on the couch?
He never disappoints, man. His diet is amazing.
I want to talk to his girlfriend and see if she finds it.
Yeah, will
odd.
Jess come on the air?
Yeah.
We like Jess.
I would love to ask her questions.
She's
about
hilarious.
Your diet.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we'll take a break. Bill Burr at Comedy Connection at the
In
end
2
of the
weeks.
week.
Yeah, last weekend in June.
On Iraq's screen over
What
there.
happened? Oh, yeah, we'll play that.
Yeah.
Comedy Connection in Boston, June 28th, 29th.
Great. More with Bill Burr after the break. Sam, maybe we'll talk to your girlfriend for the first time. And we got...
Don't get too choked up at this.
We got the late Vince McMahon as we go to break.
This is Vince McMahon of the WWF, and you're listening to the greatest tag team in radio, Opie and Anthony.
Breaking news. Vince McMahon is officially not dead.
No, I'm not believing it.
Boy, we were having a lot of fun with the whole Vince McMahon is dead thing, with him blowing himself up in his limo or whatever, someone blowing him up in his limo. Sam wanted to believe, and
He really did.
and it was just done very badly.
Yeah. Everyone knew he was alive. It was a gag. They had the FBI at first. They were saying the FBI was investigating, and then I guess the FBI got mad, so they had to go with the FIC, the Federal Investigation
Center, right?
And they had some investigator that was always on the show, and he would do his interviews during Raw or SmackDown, not in his station house. And Sam was believing it. He wanted to believe that Vince was alive. I'm sure he's relieved today that Vince is alive, but it's bittersweet for Sam because Chris Benoit is dead.
And they're starting to say it's a double murder-suicide, that he shot his own son.
I don't think he shot him.
I thought he did.
Oh, I thought it was...
Now
Now they're saying it's not a shooting? That's what I read overnight.
Well, the last thing I heard this morning driving in was there was no gunshot wounds or no knife wounds. So they're investigating how they died.
Tell me, strangled them.
Oh, may have.
That's a very personal way to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, they did say that when the details of this case come out, people are going to be like, whoa.
That's,
This is a little different than the typical double murder-suicide.
I don't believe it.
So there was no gun used?
No, that's what I heard this morning on Winds.
Really?
What did he strangle? I bet he strangled them and then hung himself. So Sam, do you know? I mean, that's an awful way, especially your own son.
I hope he didn't use some hacky wrestling move to take out his family.
Oh.
Yeah. He figure four leg locked them. That's an awful way to kill your son, man.
So, what do we got, Sam?
Sam, now, what about Vince being alive?
Well, we'll have to
admit it, he's alive.
Wait and see what happens.
Wait and see what happens. You know, we know Vince just a little bit, and I'm sure he's extremely bummed.
Yeah.
And his thoughts and prayers go out to the,
thoughts and prayers
to, Chris's remaining family and all that. But there's also part of Vince going, you wrecked my storyline.
We had a great bit going, and you ruined it. You ruined it.
What happened was Vince made an appearance on live TV last night.
Yeah.
Of course, if he didn't, all hell would break loose.
What an ass he'd look like.
No kidding.
Keeping the dead Vince bit going when actual family has been killed.
Yeah, the dead Vince bit was going on for about a month, and he was like, oh, my God.
And it was working. It was getting a lot of talk. It was getting a lot of heat.
It got us talking about wrestling for the first time in like 4 years.
We hadn't talked about wrestling in a long time. And then this storyline was so bizarre and funny and out there that it was kind of fun to play back and forth. And Sam obviously believed that Vince had been tragically killed in that limo explosion, but nothing at all brought any facts of that nature to the table. It was just a goof. But now, Sam, you saw Vince live last night. It couldn't have been pre-taped because he was talking about Chris Benoit's death, which has just happened. So it wasn't like he wasn't, you taped it before his death somehow. He talked about his character, Mr. McMahon, being killed. before addressing the fact that Chris Benoit was actually dead. Any comments on this and bringing up what you had believed and talked about for about a month now? What are your feelings about this?
No, what's happened? Go ahead.
I'm going to reserve judgment.
Yeah.
On what's going on with Mr. McMahon until next week.
Do you?
What? How do you reserve judgment?
It's over.
Yeah,
He's dead. He's not dead.
Here's Vince McMahon from last night in an empty arena. By the way,
yes, it was empty. Just him and the mic in the ring.
Wow. Good evening. Tonight, this arena here in Corpus Christi, Texas, was to have been filled to capacity with enthusiastic WWE fans. Tonight's storyline was to have been the alleged demise of my character, Mr. McMahon.
Alleged demise.
However, in reality, WWE superstar Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel are dead.
Jeez.
Their bodies were discovered this afternoon in their new suburban Atlanta home. The authorities are undergoing an investigation. We here in the WWE can only offer our condolences to the extended family of Chris Benoit.
And there's a lot of wrestlers that died.
He sounds really old.
Yeah, what's with his voice? That happened. Something was going on with his voice. He might have been a little choked up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Were they friends? I mean, I guess they were, right?
Yeah, he seemed choked up when he was...
Oh, yeah.
Is the FIC checking into this, or is it actually the FBI or local authorities? Or is it, what was his name, the investigator?
Daniel Beck.
Daniel Beck. Is Daniel Beck from the FIC going to be questioning wrestlers?
No, Daniel Beck is back in his cubicle doing, working on marketing ideas.
I think Daniel Beck
sales pitches. He's back behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think the FBI said, all right, we'll take it from here, guys. Thank you.
He's back in accounting at the WWE building.
Exactly.
Sam, are you thinking, though, Sam is trying to, are you thinking that they may have done something? It's like when they mash up a Bush speech and they make it into a U2 song, where they take a bunch of different clips and they kind of make it into something like that. Are you saying that this is some sort of a creation of computer people?
It didn't sound like Vince.
Well, he did sound different. I mean, basically, you're saying that this is an old clip of Vince that they used and dubbed over words? I mean...
I'm just saying you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, shut up. It's over. We don't need to keep this storyline going. No problem. We'll come up with some new ones. Get out of here. Get out of here. Your bit got ruined. You had a good bit going.
You had a great bit, a lot of visibility. Every week you're on.
Airtime.
Oh,
it's over.
You got to be bumming.
It's over. We'll find something else for you. Here's the second half of Vince's announcement last night.
And the only other thing we can do at this moment is tonight pay tribute to Chris Benoit. We'll offer you some of the most memorable moments in Chris's professional life. And you'll hear tonight comments from his peers, those here, his fellow performers, those here who loved Chris and admired him so much. So tonight will be a 3-hour tribute to one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. Tonight will be a tribute to Chris Benoit.
Yeah, he was kind of getting a little misty-eyed.
Oh, yeah, he's been with the organization for a while now, so...
Vince has seen a lot of doom and gloom with his peeps between the steroids these guys have taken that have ravaged their bodies and suicides.
Have there been other suicides?
Oh, my God, there's so many wrestlers that have died. Someone turned me onto a website. I don't have the address right now, but it lists all the wrestlers that have died
wrestlers
in the last 10 years. It's mind-boggling.
Wow.
It's mind-boggling, so...
A lot of them just get their bodies to a point where they just can't hold up with the steroids and everything. They wind up getting tumors. Lyle Alzado tumors.
Did we get anybody from WWE today? Is there anybody who's,
Yeah, right.
I don't think anybody wants to really talk about this
we
on
can
this
try,
show.
But I don't think anyone's talking today.
They'll think we're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, no.
All right, we're going to take a break and continue with other things. Lots to do today. It's the Opie and Anthony show. If you got anything, 87... Sam who? He's done. 877... So Vince McMahon had to change his tune because on Monday he was kind of praising Chris Benoit's career, and they did a whole memorial to him, a whole 3-hour special, right, Sam?
Yeah.
And then these details are coming out, and then Vince is like, whoa, we got to distance ourselves from this guy.
Yep.
So he went on TV last night and had this statement?
Yeah, he did. This one was a pre-taped one. It wasn't in the ring, but he put it on right before ECW came on last night.
This guy's an ass.
You know, I hit the button at the exact same time, and I really thought Vince
really?
said that. And I'm like, wow.
I love the Vince.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm somber.
Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE presented a special tribute show, recognizing the career of Chris Benoit. However, now some 26 hours later, the facts of this horrific tragedy are now apparent. Therefore, other than my comments, there will be no mention of Mr. Benoit's name tonight. On the contrary, tonight's show will be dedicated to everyone who has been affected by this terrible incident. This evening marks the first step of the healing process. Tonight, WWE performers will do what they do better than anyone else in the world. Entertain you.
I thought he was going to say tonight the WWE performers will do what they do better than anyone else in the world. Steroids.
Die.
That was a good way to handle it, though.
Yeah.
Come out and acknowledge it like, all right, look, 26 hours. I like that.
Yeah,
man.
Vince ain't afraid of coming out and laying it out there like that.
But like, yeah, this guy killed his wife and his son. We didn't now address it. I like that, you know?
Wish we could have taken away the tribute.
Yeah.
We look like asses. You made me look like an ass.
What's up, E-Rock? What do you got?
E-Rock?
He's setting up something. I swear we have no idea.
We have a little Christmas gift for you on line 10.
For who?
For both of you.
For the show.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be great. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness. It hit me right when
Who the hell is this?
Excuse me, Mr. McMahon?
What?
You're on the air. It's the Opie and Anthony show. Big fans, of course.
Hi, guys. Yeah.
You might remember us. You hired us once.
Everybody makes a mistake every now and then.
But one thing, I never got much closure when the whole XFL pregame show thing, when we were let go, let's say, from that, because I never heard from the boss that we were fired. And I would just love it if you could give me some closure and get rid of us the way you normally do.
Yeah, we've been waiting years for this, sir.
I would be delighted. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yes, please.
You're fired.
Thank you, Mr. McMahon.
You know, I mean, that's not as good as I do later on, but that's way early in the morning. I'm having a phlegm early in the morning. You know?
Yes, you sure build some up later, though. That's right.
Yeah, we're going to challenge you there, Vince.
Vince, you're amazing.
You guys making fun of me like that, by the way.
It's an homage,
No,
Vince.
I don't appreciate that. I don't sound like that.
You don't think you sound like that when you hit the ring? You better believe you sound like that.
Now, we've been hearing that you might be getting tapes of Anthony doing you, sir. Is this true or false?
Yes, it's very true.
Oh, wow, that's very flattering.
Keeping tabs.
Keeping tabs on you boys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I mean, it sounds pretty close, I think.
Yeah, so close that we've also noticed that now you're doing Ant's impression of you.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
That's what I like.
You could go to hell.
Exactly. Trying to emulate him. He's better than I am.
Well, Vince McMahon, what a treat. We haven't spoken to you in so long. What's going on in the wonderful world of the WWE?
Well, the biggest thing is going on, of course, is a tribute to the troops. We just got back from Iraq.
Yep.
We got a big Christmas Eve airing on USA Network, 9
That's
Eastern.
great.
And it's a really, really good show. It's an opportunity for us to go over there and bring a little slice of Americana over to our men and women over there who are paying such a sacrifice for us and a price. But it's really a fun show. And again, it's you get to see the spirit of these men and women, and you know, I mean, it's enlightening when you watch it. It's really a fun show, and it's an opportunity as well for the kids over there to be able to say hello to everybody back over here.
Wow,
very
what a
cool.
great thing, man. Very cool. And of course, who'd you bring over there with you?
Well, actually, we took a lot of guys. We took the DX, of course, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and Mr. Kennedy. Chris Jericho was over there. Rey Mysterio, who's made quite a number of tours, and Bob Orton, or actually would be Bob Orton's son. But and some of the divas and what have you.
Oh, that's always
Ron
good.
Simmons and Jeff Hardy, a whole bunch of guys, and we just. And we all got in the Black Hawk helicopters and went to the forward operating bases, which is something that most people don't do.
Listen here, you insurgents. Why don't you come here and take on some of my guys from the WWE? We'll kick your ass in a cage match.
Who the hell talks like that?
That's a great thing, man.
Those are my sentiments exactly.
Hey, Vince, we watched the 15-year special you guys just did for Raw.
Yeah.
And you got to bring back people kissing your ass, man. That was
that was hysterical.
To kiss my ass stub. You're right. I have to bring that back.
It was hilarious.
And, it's not like anybody's ass. It's my ass.
It's your ass. That whole story, that went with the stink face then.
Yeah.
You started getting into that. Oh, my God. Yeah, that special was really good.
Not so many people knew that my ass did tricks.
So what else is going on? I mean, who's the champ right now?
I am.
You get out of here.
Yeah.
No, not really. No.
I was going to say
He'll always be the champ.
Yeah, I'm always the champ.
Yeah.
You know, we have the biggest fan ever over here, our own young Sam.
Really?
Yeah, Sam was so concerned when you apparently blew up in that limousine.
Yeah, it made news everywhere.
It certainly did.
Yeah, it was a legitimate story seen only on WWE.com.
Yeah. We were looking at the videotape, and poor Sam was very upset at your demise, and we kept trying to tell him, look, I think this might not really be him being killed, but he was inconsolable.
Well, it's nice to know I have that effect on one individual here in the United States. The one caring soul for Mr. McMahon.
And I like how the FBI was involved at first, but then I guess the FBI got in touch, and then somehow some other agency,
FIC.
the FIC then had to get involved.
Yeah.
Of course, they all have to get involved.
What we're getting at, sir, is that the FBI might have called Vince personally and said,
look,
let's keep us out of your silly wrestling story.
and then the FIC guy, he looked mysteriously like he could have wrestled.
Right.
You put a suit on him, you still see muscles in their neck.
Yeah.
I love you guys, man.
That's
It's
my
just
favorite part of
hysterical.
wrestling is when someone gets hurt in the ring and they bring in the paramedics, but they're a little too big for their paramedics, and you know that something's about to go down.
Hey, it's tough to get paramedics these days.
Oh, God damn, very good. How's the family? Good?
Family's great, thank you.
We miss all you guys. You
I
guys
know,
used to be on our
Shane,
show all the time. Shane
Yeah, I know.
and
Yeah.
Stephanie and.
Well, we got to get back to doing that.
We would like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, guys. And thank you very much for all the support for all the many years, and you really know who your friends are when they stick with you like this. And
always.
And thank you guys so much. And again, the tribute to the troops and the support for that, especially. That's our most important show we do. It's even more important than WrestleMania, at least for us it is.
Yep.
And again, thanks for all that promotion as well.
Oh, no worries. Speaking of our friendship, when is our Christmas gift getting here? We're running out of days. Yeah, we're running out of days.
Yeah, we are running out.
And I'm looking around. I don't really see Vince present under the tree.
It must be there somewhere.
Sam got a belt.
Really?
And seeing the smile on his face was a present enough for me, Vince.
Oh, well, see, there you
It was
go.
wonderful. Vince, thanks so much for checking in on this last day before vacation, and it's a great thing you're doing with the troops. It really is.
Guys.
And let's not forget Royal Rumble in January at Madison Square Garden here in New York.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a good one.
Right here in New York City. Yeah, we're coming to New York. We're coming for you, and we're going to kick your ass.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Vince.
McMahon for the
take care.
WWE.
Yeah.
All right. Bravo. Hey, that was a nice surprise. How'd you guys get
look at
done?
that.
I pulled some strings.
You did
Now everyone's trying to take credit. Was that Sam?
That was mostly E-Rock.
E-Rock?
About 99% E-Rock.
No wonder he's been all farting and stinking today. He's got nervous belly over this whole thing.
He was all nervous.
Oh, he's all nervous and just farting and stinking.
Although they tipped off their surprise a little bit when both E-Rock and Sam walked in here.
Yeah.
So there's a guest on the phone.
There's a guest on the phone. Guess who it is?
Yeah. You
It's
didn't
gotta
know.
be wrestling. I knew before he said a word that it was going to be Vince, because I looked at your face and the smile on there. It was either that or the maker of the PS3 or something.
I like wrestling more than PS3.
I don't know.
All right.
Wow, thank you very much,
Yes.
E-Rock, for putting that together.